Chapter 458. Ning Fan's mind raced. Is the pill sovereign going to teach me the basic usage of his medicine soul? He had learned this technique from Shiran a long time ago to use his medicine soul to break the disguise of a spiritual herb. Everyone knew this technique. The pill sovereign probably wouldn't just teach him this. Ning Fan took a few steps forward and picked up the 10,000 years old human placenta to take a closer look. Then he subconsciously frowned. This one doesn't look like a 10,000 years old human placenta. Ning Fan spread his dark green medicine soul. The medicine chi in his palm trembled and the 10,000 years old human placenta slowly turned into a 9-nether orchid. It was just an ordinary Ganoderma in the beginning. It was not the true form of a spiritual herb. The 10,000 years old human placenta was also not the true form. This 9-nether orchid was the true form. Ning Fan suddenly understood that the spiritual herbs on the floor were indeed disguised. However, there was definitely more than one layer of disguise. For example, this 9-nether orchid had disguised itself twice. Unless his medicine soul was strong enough, Ning Fan would definitely think that it was a 10,000 years old human placenta. Once the wrong herb is used as a concoction ingredient, the medicinal effect of the concocted pill and whether it would be poisonous would be unimaginable. As a pill refinement master, one must be extremely cautious when choosing medicinal herbs. Seeing that Ning Fan seemed to have understood something, the pill sovereign nodded his head in satisfaction and guided him. The first use of the medicine soul is to see through the disguise of spiritual herbs. Even ants try to survive, let alone spiritual herbs of heaven and earth. In order to protect themselves, some spiritual herbs even have more than one layer of disguise. Therefore, you must never use spiritual herbs that are beyond your medicine soul's ability to identify in pill refinement. You will never know if that spiritual herb is what you need or not. After the pill sovereign finished guiding Ning Fan, he suddenly pointed his finger. His dark purple medicine soul turned into a ray of light and shot into Ning Fan's glabella. Ning Fan was slightly stunned, but he did not resist. He knew that the pill sovereign was imparting his technique to him. The ray of light melted into his sea of consciousness and immediately turned into a voice that transmitted his technique. Diviners cultivate the heavenly eye to peer into the heavenly Tao and predict the future for 1,000 years. It is called the heavenly eye. Formation masters cultivate the earth eye to go against the general trend and move mountains and seas. It is called the earth eye. Pill masters cultivate the human eye to see through the truth and illusion. The Tao points to the human heart. Without the heavenly eye, one cannot be called a heavenly master. Without the human eye, one cannot be called a heavenly master. This old man will help you open the eyes of a Taoist master. This can be counted as the first time I've imparted the technique. Traces of mysterious incantations turned into the voice of the great Tao and resounded in Ning Fan's sea of consciousness. Ning Fan closed his eyes and concentrated on circulating his cultivation technique. All of a sudden, he felt a sharp pain on his glabella. A vertical eye was torn open. Streaks of dark green medicinal light flowed within the vertical eye. Ning Fan was slightly stunned. Then he understood what was going on. He cultivated the Devil Luo Dharma image. The pill sovereign had developed the ghost eye, one of the 4 images of Devil Luo, into the enlightened being's eye. When he opened his eyes, he slowly hid them, not revealing them. However, after opening the 3rd mortal eye, Ning Fan felt that the eyesight of his left and right eyes had greatly improved. Moreover, there was medicinal qi circulating in his eyes, allowing him to see through the authenticity of spiritual herbs. His gaze lightly swept across the medicine shop. 2 rays of dark green light shot out from his eyes, and like thunderbolts, they struck the spirit herbs one by one. One by one, the spiritual herbs broke through their disguises. Other than the 3 tufts of 100,000 years old spiritual herbs which Ning Fan could not see through, he could even see through the disguises of 50,000 years old spiritual herbs. Ordinary 5th Revolution pill masters could see through the disguises of spiritual herbs by covering their eyes with their medicine soul. However, how could such a small trick be more powerful than the human eye? Ning Fan took a deep breath. After breaking through the disguises of the spiritual herbs in the shop, He found 15 tufts of genuine 10,000 years old human placenta. However, he did not go to take them. Instead, he turned around and bowed respectfully to the pill sovereign. "Thank you for teaching me the technique, seniorly. Hee. You are a promising child. If it wasn't because you have cultivated the ghost eye of the Ghost Eye clan, I wouldn't have been able to help you open the human eye so easily. After opening the human eye, with the strength of your medicine soul now, you will be able to identify 50,000 years old spiritual herbs. Take these 10,000 years old human placenta. Later on, I will teach you a technique called Battle Soul Technique, which I found by chance from an ancient book. After that, I will also give you an opportunity." The pill sovereign nodded slightly, signaling Ning Fan to go and get the spiritual herbs. Ning Fan knew that the pill sovereign wanted to give him some spiritual herbs. Thus, he did not decline the offer. He really needed the 10,000 years old human placenta. However, just as he turned around and before he could take the 10,000 years old human placenta, the domineering voice of a young man resounded from outside the medicine shop. "Oh, I didn't expect that a medicine shop opened by a mere third revolution pill master would actually have so many 10,000 years old, 50,000 years old and 100,000 years old spiritual herbs. Good. I am going to buy all the spiritual herbs in this medicine shop. Hanba, you can clear the shop now." Outside the shop, a black-robed young man with evil eyes gave an order. His tone was as if he was going to buy the entire medicine shop, not allowing anyone to buy the medicinal herbs in it. This young man had an early divine transformation realm cultivation base. Medicinal chi was flowing around his body. He seemed to be a pill refinement master of an inferior grade. As soon as he gave the order, a 2-zhang tall malicious ghost wearing black armor immediately walked out from behind him. Both of his legs were dragging heavy chains. He answered and strode into the medicine shop. His ghostly hand reached out to grab Ning Fan, as if he wanted to throw him out of the medicine shop. The strength of that grab was already at the first level of the Golden Body realm. It was comparable to a Void Glimpse stage attack. "Brat, you can get lost now. All the medicinal herbs in this medicine shop have been bought by the young lord of my Ghost Eye clan. It's not something you can touch." Ning Fan's eyes darkened when he saw the ghostly claw coming at him. Obviously, this so-called young lord of the Ghost Eye clan and the black-armored malicious ghost that he brought with him did not know Ning Fan. Otherwise, with Ning Fan's current ferocious reputation, how would they dare to attack him? Before the ghostly claw could reach him, Ning Fan moved at lightning speed and grabbed the malicious ghost's wrist. Without showing any mercy, he forcefully tore off one of the malicious ghost's ghostly hands. The malicious ghost was in great pain. Out of fear, he directly jumped out of the medicine shop and stared at Ning Fan with cold eyes. This scene deeply shocked the black-robed young man. He was the dignified young lord of the Ghost Eye clan. As for this malicious ghost, Hanba, he was the personal guard that the clan leader of the Ghost Eye clan assigned to him. He had a body refinement cultivation base at the first level of the Golden Body realm. He was extremely strong. He could even fight a Void Glimpse stage old monster without losing. With the strength of his physical body, the strength of his ghostly claw could tear the body of any half-step Void Refinement realm expert to pieces. The black-robed young man could clearly see that Ning Fan's cultivation base was at the half-step Void Refinement realm. By right, Hanba should have thrown him out of the medicine shop. Unexpectedly, Ning Fan's strength was far beyond the black-robed young man's imagination. With just a casual attack, he directly tore off Hanba's arm. The black-robed young man could not believe it. Could it be that Ning Fan's body refinement cultivation base is even stronger than Hanba's at the first level of the Golden Body realm? Detestable. Who is this person? He is just 500 years old, but he actually has such terrifying strength. I have been in seclusion for 100 years in the medicine tower of my clan and have never cared about worldly affairs. This is my first time leaving the clan. How did I offend such a strong enemy? Let's find out more about this person. The black-robed young man gritted his teeth and immediately took a few steps back with the malicious ghost, Hanba. They stared at Ning Fan with great fear. Even though his eyes were filled with hatred for Ning Fan for injuring his guard, he did not dare to show it too much. He just cupped his fists and said coldly, "I'm the young lord of the Ghost Eye clan, Gui Han. Your strength is terrifying. Aren't you going to give me an explanation for destroying my guard's arm?" The young lord of the Ghost Eye clan. Ning Fan frowned. He naturally knew how strong the Ghost Eye clan was. The Ghost Eye clan's foundation was not weaker than the Zhou clan. The fact that Gui Han ordered his guard to attack Ning Fan really displeased Ning Fan. However, if he kills the young lord of the Ghost Eye clan in front of so many people, he would certainly become a sworn enemy of the Ghost Eye clan. Ning Fan had yet to solve the problem of the Giant Devil clan. Thus, he did not want to provoke the Ghost Eye clan at this moment. However, Ning Fan was not afraid of the Ghost Eye clan. If this young lord of the Ghost Eye clan still doesn't know what's good for him, he would not mind teaching him a lesson. "I'm Zhou Ming. I don't have an explanation for you. Get lost." The word, "get lost," carried a terrifying baleful chi that shocked all the cultivators on the 5th floor of the Eternal Peace Pavilion. Under Ning Fan's baleful chi and devil might, Gui Han and Han Ba's breathing became sluggish. Their minds were in a mess and their eyes were filled with shock. Not only were they shocked by Ning Fan's strength, but they were also shocked by his name. "What? He's Zhou Ming, whom my father warned us not to offend." Gui Han gritted his teeth. After knowing Ning Fan's name, his arrogance could not help but weaken. Gui Han had a respectable status in the Ghost Eye clan. Who would dare to tell him to get lost? However, at this moment, he was afraid of Ning Fan's power, but he did not dare to not get lost. He had a feeling that Ning Fan would directly kill him if he doesn't know what's good for him. Damn it. Damn it. Could it be that one of Han Ba's arms is going to be broken just like this? Am I going to swallow this anger just like this? Young lord, the situation is not as good as you. Just bear with it for now. If there's a chance in the future, we will take revenge. Han Ba transmitted his voice to him with a gloomy expression. All right. Gui Han snorted coldly, then turned around and left with Han Ba. Ning Fan's eyes turned slightly cold. He did not put a mere Gui Han in his eyes at all. If they dare to provoke him again, they would certainly die the next time. Even though Ning Fan did not attack them, it did not mean that Gui Han and Han Ba could leave as they please. The Pill Sovereign's slightly surprised eyes turned slightly cold. Even though he had always been magnanimous, he would not sit and watch when someone attacked the disciple of his old friend. Did I allow you two to leave? Do you think you can just leave without paying a price for creating trouble in my medicine shop? What? Gui Han and Han Ba stopped in their tracks and turned their heads to look at the Pill Sovereign with cold, killing intent. Interesting. Interesting. It's fine if it's Zhou Ming, but a mere nascent soul realm pill refinement master actually dares to be rude to me. Do you think you are worthy enough to make me pay a price? You're courting death. Han Ba, kill him. Yes. Han Ba's eyes were filled with ferocity as if he wanted to vent all his anger from being injured by Ning Fan on the old Taoist in front of him. In his eyes, he could crush countless nascent soul realm old Taoist with just a finger. Thus, he naturally would not put him in his eyes. Han Ba did not realize that the person he had offended this time was much more terrifying than Ning Fan. The Pill Sovereign glanced at Ning Fan and said indifferently, "Now, I will teach you a battle soul technique, soul palm imprint." All of a sudden, countless dark purple medicine soul power spread out from the Pill Sovereign's body like a violent gale. It turned into a huge dark purple palm imprint and slammed down on Han Ba. Boom! The power of that palm was as light as a feather before it was unleashed. However, when it landed, it was as heavy as Mount Tai. It directly smashed Han Ba into meat paste, killing him instantly. The control of the power of that palm was extremely precise. Not a single bit of it was wasted. After killing Han Ba, the palm imprint immediately dissipated without harming a single blade of grass or tree in the Eternal Peace Pavilion. The palm attack of the Pill Sovereign had shocked countless cultivators. Those with discerning eyes could tell that the power of that palm attack was extremely terrifying. It was clearly the power of a void fragmentation realm attack. Those cultivators who were knowledgeable could even tell that this palm attack did not use any magic power or spirit sense power. Instead, it condensed the unique medicine soul of a pill refinement master into a palm imprint. It could kill a person without spilling blood. It was the unique battle soul technique of the Rain World's pill sovereign. Battle soul. Using medicine soul to fight is the battle soul. The casual way he killed a Void Glimpse stage cultivator with a palm attack and the dark purple medicine soul of a peak 6th revolution pill sovereign. Even a cultivator like Gue Han, who had lived in seclusion for 100 years, would not be unable to recognize who this old Taoist was. D. Pill Sovereign. This old Taoist is actually the pill sovereign of the Rain World. It's fine if I offended Zhou Ming, but today, I actually offended such a powerful figure. I have caused a great disaster for the Ghost Eye clan. Gue Han knelt on the ground with a thud and kowtowed to beg for mercy. Even though he was extremely arrogant, he deeply understood that the pill sovereign was not someone he could afford to offend. He did not dare to complain about the fact that the pill sovereign had killed Han Ba with a palm attack. This time, he had really stepped on an iron plate. Tell Mark Yu Gue, Zhou Ming is half a disciple of mine. I won't ask about the grudge between the Ghost Eye clan and the Zhou clan. However, if the Ghost Eye clan dares to hurt my disciple, I will definitely wash the Ghost Eye clan with blood. Hiss! The pill sovereign's cold shout echoed across the entire cold northern country within 70 million li. His powerful void fragmentation realm aura force enveloped the entire country. At this moment, countless cultivators raised their heads in disbelief. What did they just hear? The pill sovereign, Li Tsongtian, actually appeared in the cold northern country. Moreover, he even issued a death order to the Ghost Eye clan to protect Ningfan. In the giant devil broken world, the 8 ancestors of the giant devil clan were all shocked. Pill sovereign, why did he come to my giant devil clan? That one sentence revealed the pill sovereign's determination to protect Ningfan. This determination was different from the Rain Palace using Ningfan and the Zhou clan calling him a friend. This sentence was to treat Ningfan as their reverse scale. No one was allowed to touch Ningfan. This order was even more frightening than Yun Tianjue's. Yun Tianjue just expressed some goodwill towards Ningfan. As for the pill sovereign, he directly addressed Ningfan as half a disciple. Whoever injured the disciple of the pill sovereign would die. From today onwards, even the void fragmentation realm experts of the Rain World would not dare to touch him casually. Naturally, there were also people who heard the name Yugeho from the pill sovereign's words. Marquis Yugue? Isn't he the void fragmentation realm expert who was suppressed by the Thunder Sovereign 10,000 years ago? Could it be that he is still alive? Countless cultivators swarmed towards the Eternal Peace Pavilion, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Alchemy Sovereign's elegance and friendship. The Alchemy Sovereign frowned slightly. He did not like these cultivators who fawned on the rich and powerful. With a flick of his sleeve, a dark purple medicine soul spread out, carrying Ningfan and the spiritual herbs in the shop, and disappeared without a trace. Only the countless onlookers and Gue Han, who was kneeling on the ground, were left. At this moment, Gue Han was terrified. He did not have the usual arrogance of a young master. I'm finished. I'm finished. I've offended Ningfan and now I've offended the pill sovereign. If his father knew about this, he would definitely skin him alive. Why? Why is this Zhou Ming so lucky to be able to become half a disciple of the pill sovereign and receive his protection and teachings? Why? At this moment, Gue Han was filled with hatred and jealousy towards Ningfan. However, he did not dare to offend Ningfan, let alone take revenge. Even if he were to die, he would not dare to touch Ningfan. Otherwise, the pill sovereign would flatten the Ghost Eye clan. On the peak of a desolate snowy mountain, a dark purple light flashed. The pill sovereign and Ningfan appeared one after another. Thank you for your help, senior. Ningfan's gratitude towards the pill sovereign came from the bottom of his heart. He had been seeking all kinds of protection. It was not to protect himself but to protect the woman behind him. With the order given by the pill sovereign today, no one in the entire Rain World would dare to be hostile towards Ningfan, let alone the Ghost Eye clan. Yun Tianjue might be more infamous than the pill sovereign. However, one should not forget that the pill sovereign was a pill refinement master who was close to attaining the 7th revolution. Not to mention the void fragmentation realm of the rain world, even the void fragmentation realm experts of the other 9 worlds would have to give the Pill Sovereign face. Once the Pill Sovereign is enraged, he could hire countless helpers to fight for him. It's just a small matter. The Pill Sovereign waved his hand disapprovingly. Suddenly, his expression turned serious and he asked to test Ning Fan. Did you see my soul palm imprint clearly? Yes, I did. Ning Fan nodded his head. The dark green medicine soul in his body suddenly shone brightly, turning into a gigantic dark green palm imprint. Then he slammed it towards a snowy mountain in the distance. That palm imprint was equivalent to the attack of a late divine transformation realm expert. It could flatten a mountain. Not bad. It's really not bad. Your innate talent is really good. Old Man Han's eyes are always much sharper than ordinary people. The Pill Sovereign sighed softly as if it was a pity that he could not accept Ning Fan as his disciple. Then he shook his head and continued. I once obtained an ancient scroll which recorded 36 forms of soul palm imprint. It's called Heavenly Dipper Imprint. It's a method that uses the medicine soul to fight. It's called the Battle Soul Technique. You have a lot of magic techniques and you don't lack the Battle Soul Technique. The reason why I taught you this technique is not to kill but to protect yourself. When pill refinement masters are concocting pills, they must use all their magic power and spirit sense. Besides, they can't move their bodies easily. This Battle Soul Technique was created by some pill refinement masters in ancient times. It's used to protect oneself when one is concocting pills to prevent the enemy from taking advantage of the situation. When you are concocting pills, if someone tries to ambush you, you can directly condense your medicine soul into a palm and slap it. That way, you can protect yourself. Thank you for teaching me this technique, Senior. Ning Fan nodded his head. Just like what the Pill Sovereign had said, it was important for pill refinement masters to protect themselves when they are concocting pills. It was impossible for Ning Fan to hide in a secluded place every time he was concocting pills. It was also impossible for him to ask the spiritual puppets to protect him all the time. For example, he would be concocting pills in public during the pill ceremony this time. If there were too many people who had nothing to do and someone attacks him while he was concocting pills, he would not need to use his magic power and spirit sense to block the attack. He could just condense his medicine soul into a palm to defend himself. This was a method to protect himself, and it was most suitable to be used during pill concoction. Today, the Pill Sovereign had not only helped Ning Fan awaken his human eye but also improved his ability to identify spiritual herbs. He also taught Ning Fan a Heavenly Dipper imprint which could help him protect himself during pill concoction. Other than that, the Pill Sovereign also wanted to give Ning Fan a great opportunity. The Pill Sovereign clenched his 5 fingers. Traces of ancient yet gentle divine intent of wood slowly condensed into a gigantic cauldron made of green wood which sat on the peak of the snowy mountain. This gigantic cauldron was condensed from the Pill Sovereign's divine intent. This gigantic cauldron had accompanied the Pill Sovereign for countless years of pill concoction. Therefore, it was stained with a thick layer of medicine qi. Ning Fan, I have promised your master that I will guide you 3 times in pill refinement. Everything that I have taught you today will only be counted as 1. I have helped you awaken your human eye and imparted you the Heavenly Dipper imprint. Now, I will also give you a good fortune. There is less than a month before the first round of the pill ceremony. During this period of time, I will pave the way for you to attain the 6th revolution pill refinement realm. Are you willing to accept my kind offer? This junior is willing. Ning Fan was not pretentious and said straightforwardly. All right. This divine wood king cauldron is a cauldron of divine intent that I condensed. It has accumulated a thick layer of medicine qi along with my pill concoction. You can go and absorb the medicine qi within it to nourish your medicine soul. The more medicine qi you can absorb, the more your medicine soul will improve. Of course, not only do I hope that you can absorb the medicine qi, but I also hope that you can comprehend your own natal pill cauldron from my pill cauldron. I can tell that you have yet to truly condense a natal pill cauldron because you have never had a master to guide you before. I am really surprised that you can reach where you are today by exploring your own path. I still have 2 Mingluo fruits here. Adding them together, you can enter a dream for 100 years. Later, I will guide you in your cultivation for 100 years in the dream. This is my first time seriously guiding a junior. I hope you can cherish this opportunity. The Pill Sovereign said sincerely. This junior will certainly not disappoint senior. Ning Fan cupped his fists to express his gratitude. Then, he walked towards the gigantic cauldron while the Pill Sovereign's advice resounded in his ears. Place your palm on the body of the cauldron. Open your medicine soul and absorb the medicine chi within the cauldron. With the strength of your high-grade 5th Revolution medicine soul, you can be considered as an outstanding person if you can absorb 1/10 of the medicine chi in the cauldron. 1/10, huh? Ning Fan's eyes were filled with battle intent. He wanted to absorb more medicine chi so that his high-grade 5th Revolution medicine soul could break through to the peak-grade 5th Revolution in one go. Chapter 459. When Ning Fan touched the giant green wooden cauldron, his palm felt cold and heavy. The power of his medicine soul condensed into a whirlpool at the center of his palm. The medicine chi in the cauldron that did not disperse was sucked into the whirlpool and integrated into his medicine soul. Above his medicine soul, the green color became fainter and the black color became denser. Ning Fan knew that if this black color completely covered his entire medicine soul, leaving only a faint green color, he would be considered to have advanced to the peak of the 5th Revolution. 5th Revolution green, 6th Revolution profound and 7th Revolution purple. If all of the faint green color disappeared completely once again, then Ning Fan could be considered as a 6th Revolution pill refinement master. There were only 7 6th Revolution pill masters in the entire 800 cultivation countries of the Rain world. If Ning Fan's pill refinement realm advances to the 6th Revolution, his status would be as revered as a void fragmentation realm old monster. His heart was filled with gratitude for the Pill Sovereign's guidance and the Old Devil's concern. The Old Devil had promised the Pill Sovereign that he would guide Ning Fan 3 times. Ning Fan would not waste any of the opportunities. Devour! Ning Fan's eyes flashed with determination and increased his absorption of the medicine chi. This giant green wooden cauldron had accompanied the Pill Sovereign countless times in concocting pills. It was unknown how many 6th Revolution pills it had concocted. The density of the medicine chi it contained was astonishing. After absorbing just 1/20th of the medicine chi in the cauldron, Ning Fan felt his medicine soul swelling as if it could not endure such a powerful medicine chi. He gritted his teeth and continued to absorb the medicine chi. When he absorbed 1/10 of the medicine chi, his medicine soul felt like it was about to burst. Traces of pain that penetrated his soul made him frown. However, he did not say anything. He took a deep breath and continued to absorb the medicine chi. He had already absorbed 1/9 of the medicine chi in the cauldron. This young man is really a persevering person. The Pill Sovereign nodded his head in satisfaction. He valued Ning Fan's talent, but he valued his temperament even more. The Tao of pill refinement was difficult. Cultivators without great perseverance and patience would not be able to reach the peak of the Tao of pill refinement. The Pill Sovereign looked at Ning Fan as if he was looking at his younger self. Amidst the flames of war, the 7-year-old alchemy monarch was just a mortal child. He lived on the ruined battlefield, relying on eating the corpses of the dead. One day, an old Taoist in green robes arrived at the battlefield. When he saw the Pill Sovereign, he gave him a kind smile. "Why do you want to eat corpses? I don't want to die a lowly death." The young Pill Emperor replied, "Are you willing to follow me? I will teach you alchemy skills so that you will no longer be a lowly person. You will be able to stand above everyone." The green-robed old Taoist's smile would forever be imprinted in the alchemy sovereign's heart. It was as warm as a father's. At that time, the alchemy emperor still didn't know that the green-robed old Taoist was Emperor Li, who had been conferred the title of Emperor Li by the previous reign emperor. Emperor Li failed to break through to the next level and eventually died. The alchemy emperor endured the pain and followed the teachings of Emperor Li. He endured countless hardships and finally reached the peak, becoming the alchemy emperor whose name shook the 9 realms. The alchemy sovereign had never accepted a disciple in his life because he had never met a disciple who could treat him like his own son. There were thousands upon thousands of alchemists in the world who wished to enter the alchemy sovereign's tutelage, but the alchemy sovereign did not care about them at all. Today, he had finally met a disciple that he admired. However, this disciple had long since found another master. What a pity! Quick! The pill sovereign raised his finger and pointed at the air. A trace of warm soul power flowed into Ning Fan's body, nourishing his medicine soul which was on the verge of bursting. He could not erase the pain that Ning Fan was suffering from, but he could heal the wounds on his medicine soul. He still remembered the time when he absorbed the medicine qi from Emperor Li's pill cauldron. Under Emperor Li's protection, he absorbed 1/3 of the medicine qi in the cauldron. He felt that the current Ning Fan could also absorb 1/3 of the medicine qi. The pill sovereign decided to help Ning Fan again, just like how his master helped him in the past. However, when the pill sovereign used his soul power to help Ning Fan, he realized that there were countless traces of black star power in Ning Fan's body that were healing his wounds on their own. Ning Fan, who was healing himself with the help of the black star power, suddenly felt a cooling sensation on his medicine soul. His spirit was lifted as he knew that the pill sovereign was helping him. His heart was filled with gratitude. He gritted his teeth, enduring the intense pain, and inhaled the medicine qi. 1/3 of the medicine qi in the cauldron had already been absorbed into Ning Fan's body. More and more wounds on his medicine soul were being healed by the pill sovereign. However, the pain was unbearable. It made green veins appear on his forehead. Refine! Without any fear, Ning Fan refined the vast medicine qi into his medicine soul. The black color of his medicine soul instantly became 1/3 denser. Ning Fan was even more convinced that if he could absorb all the medicine qi in the pill cauldron, his medicine soul could break through to the peak 5th revolution in one go. It was because this pill cauldron contained the medicine qi that the pill sovereign had accumulated throughout his entire life. Those who go through all kinds of hardships without getting tired of it can turn into an Azura and ascend to the peak. Ning Fan's eyes suddenly flashed with determination. Black mist swirled around his body and he turned into his incarnation in black robes. His eyes were cold and emotionless as if he could no longer feel any pain. He had turned into an Azura and experienced all kinds of hardships just to reach the peak of his cultivation. Devour! The majestic medicine qi all flowed into Ning Fan's body. Ning Fan actually devoured all the medicine qi in the cauldron in a single gulp. The pain that penetrated his soul was unbearable. The black-robed Ning Fan let out a muffled groan and his physical body suddenly disintegrated into a mist of blood. Others only knew about the power of having one's incarnation disintegrated and reformed. No one had ever thought about the pain of having one's physical body disintegrated. Ning Fan swallowed the medicinal qi like a whale. The pain was so excruciating that it pierced through his heart. His incarnation disintegrated again and again. Ning Fan continuously resisted the impact of the medicine qi and gradually refined it completely. The dark color of his medicine soul continued to spread. From 1/3 to 2/3, his medicine soul expanded. In the end, his entire medicine soul turned into the color of ink. However, there was still a faint green color on top of that black color. His medicine soul was now at the peak 5th revolution. Good! The pill sovereign, who had been staying silent at the side, finally gave a word of praise. Ning Fan did not let him down. He actually devoured all the medicine qi in the cauldron with great willpower. This kind of endurance was even stronger than the pill sovereign. Try and see if you can condense your natal pill cauldron in one go while your medicine soul is advancing. The pill sovereign reminded. Understood. Ning Fan closed his eyes. Traces of intent realm power spread out from his body. The divine intent of rain, the devil intent of mountain, and the demon intent of Fu Li. 3 completely different intent realms suddenly merged into one, turning into black snow that filled the sky. This is... The pill sovereign was surprised to find out that Ning Fan actually possessed the different intent realm power of the divine, demon and devil races. What he found the most unbelievable was that Ning Fan had merged the three types of intent realm power into one and created the memory intent realm. Moreover, he had cultivated it to the grand perfection realm. With just a thought, the entire sky would be filled with black snow. Each of the black snowflakes was the power of memory. All of them were second-step intent realms. Ning Fan did not have the intention to hide it from the Pill Sovereign. In his heart, he had already regarded the Pill Sovereign as someone close to him. Even though the Pill Sovereign was entrusted by the old devil to grant him this opportunity, Ning Fan was still grateful to the Pill Sovereign. In his mind, he recalled the appearance of the Dan Fragmentation Cauldron. That Dan Fragmentation Cauldron was all his memories. He patted his storage pouch and took out a black cauldron with 6 corners and 8 edges. It was the Dan Fragmentation Cauldron which was given to him by the old devil. Even though its grade was not high and it was no longer useful to Ning Fan now, it carried all the memories of the 7 Apricot City. He wanted to condense his natal pill cauldron with the power of the memory intent realm. He wanted to use the Dan Fragmentation Cauldron as the embryonic form to remember the 7 Apricot snow coldness. Merge! The power of the memory intent realm was channeled into the Dan Fragmentation Cauldron, devouring it bit by bit. Ning Fan touched his glabella. He could feel that the tangible Dan Fragmentation Cauldron had turned into invisible divine intent in his sea of consciousness. It condensed into a black cauldron which was being nurtured in his sea of consciousness. Cauldron appear. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with nostalgia. Traces of the power of memory suddenly condensed into a black cauldron and fell on the peak of the snow mountain. The Pill Sovereign saw the process of condensing the cauldron and a satisfied smile appeared on his face. This black cauldron is not the most perfect pill cauldron. Why didn't you condense other pill cauldrons with your divine intent but chose to condense this one? This cauldron was given to me by my master. Even though its grade is not high, it has a special meaning to me. Ning Fan answered honestly. His answer made the Pill Sovereign even more satisfied. Very good. Judging from this, I only have one last opportunity left for you this time. Consume these 2 Min Luo fruits. Ning Fan received the Min Luo fruits from the Pill Sovereign and was slightly stunned. He suddenly thought of the Min Luo Treant and the little Pill Devil and asked subconsciously, Senior, may I ask where did you get these fruits from? It was no wonder that Ning Fan would have doubts. Min Luo fruits could only be found in the Min Luo Treant clan of the Tree World. In the Rain World, other than the Dark Sparrow's grave, there would not be any Min Luo fruits. Of course, these fruits could also be given to the Pill Sovereign by an expert of the Tree World. When I passed by the Mist Horn clan, I bought them from their auction by chance. The Pill Sovereign's answer slightly surprised Ning Fan. Why does the Mist Horn clan have Min Luo fruits? However, he did not have the time to think about it now. The Pill Sovereign brought Ning Fan to a secluded mountain. He opened up a cave dwelling and set up a hidden defensive formation to help Ning Fan refine the Min Luo fruits. After consuming the 2 Min Luo fruits, Ning Fan would enter a dream for 100 years. As for the Pill Sovereign, he would use the dream entering technique to enter Ning Fan's dream and teach him pill refinement for 100 years. 100 years in the dream was equivalent to a few days in the mortal world. This kind of teaching method was quite unique. Ning Fan trusted the Pill Sovereign. If the Pill Sovereign wants to harm him, he would not have the strength to fight back at all. After consuming the 2 Min Luo fruits, Ning Fan sat cross-legged and fell into a dreamland. The Pill Sovereign also sat down cross-legged and entered Ning Fan's dream. His powerful spirit sense entered Ning Fan's dream without any contact. It was a vast and boundless dreamland. Ning Fan stood in the middle of a valley which was filled with countless spiritual herbs. This was a dream. He could have whatever he wanted. The greatest advantage of imparting alchemy through a dream was that it saved time and spirit herbs. Of course, this kind of teaching also had its drawbacks. After all, it was not true alchemy. Even though it could increase the proficiency of the alchemy techniques, because it was not true alchemy, it could not allow the medicine soul to absorb the medicinal energy and increase the level of alchemy. Boom. In the Medicine Valley, he summoned a gigantic Dan fragmentation cauldron. He took out countless spiritual herbs and threw them into the cauldron. Then he began to concoct pills. At the side, the pill sovereign quietly watched Ning Fan concoct pills with a stern expression. He had an easygoing temperament, but if someone touched his reverse scale, he would kill them. When it came to alchemy, the pill sovereign would be extremely strict, serious, and meticulous. He would not tolerate the slightest flaw. Your technique is wrong. You have 3 types of alchemy Dao. You should be able to master them and make choices. The temperature of the fire is half a degree higher. You fail. Concentrate your spirit sense and disperse your medicine soul. Keep your primordial spirit and qi and keep the light in your heart. 100 years later, Ning Fan woke up from the dream. In the dream, Ning Fan had experienced 100 years of pill concoction. His technique was very skillful and he had completely adapted to his identity as a peak 5th revolution pill master. Only a few days had passed in the outside world. Ning Fan looked around the cave dwelling. The pill sovereign had already left, leaving behind a storage pouch which contained all the spiritual herbs that he bought in the medicine shop that day. Moreover, the pill sovereign had also removed the disguise of the 3 tufts of 100,000 years old spiritual herbs that Ning Fan could not see through and gave them to him. Other than countless precious spiritual herbs, the pill sovereign also left behind a jade slip. There was only one sentence in it. I will travel around the world to comprehend pill refinement techniques. When your pill refinement realm breaks through to the 6th revolution, I will give you 2 more pointers. Fearful. The jade slip did not say much, but it made Ning Fan silent. He kept the jade slip and looked outside the cave. Then he cupped his fists and bowed. Thank you, Pill Sovereign, for teaching me the Tao. Without the Pill Sovereign's help, it would have been impossible for Ning Fan to break through to the peak 5th revolution pill master in such a short time. This time, not only did the Pill Sovereign help Ning Fan open his human eye, condense his natal pill cauldron, give him countless spiritual herbs, but he also personally taught Ning Fan pill concoction for 100 years. In the past, Ning Fan was exploring the Tao of pill refinement on his own. Without any guidance, his pill refinement techniques would more or less have some shortcomings. This time, however, the Pill Sovereign had taught Ning Fan for 100 years. Currently, Ning Fan's pill refinement techniques were almost invincible in the entire Rain world except for the 7 6th revolution pill masters. Ning Fan did not immediately leave the cave dwelling. Instead, he sat in a lotus position and meditated. His medicine soul was stabilizing. The scenes of pill refinement techniques he had just seen were replayed in his mind. Another 20 days passed. The entire province of cold northern country was unprecedentedly grand. A 10,000 zhang tall jade platform was erected in the province. On the jade platform, there was a 4-colored gigantic steel. It was called the Pill Steel. It was provided by the Pill Island for the pill ceremony this time. The seats in the 4 directions were filled with pill refinement masters and old monsters from all over the world. Zhu Qing and Dong Su, the 2 venerated beings of the eternal endless sea, and the Pill Island's Grand Elder were seated at the host seats. The Great Elder of the Pill Island was an old man with sharp eyes. His cultivation base was at the peak divine transformation realm and he had a high-grade 5th revolution pill refinement realm. His alchemy skills were renowned throughout the world, so he could be exempted from the first 2 rounds. Some of the famous 5th revolution pill masters could also participate in the 3rd round. In the center of the jade platform, the giant demon clan's Elder Fu Bai presided over the first round of the test. One by one, the alchemists registered their names and tested their alchemy skills under the pill steel. When one's palm came into contact with the tablet, the magical tablet would release a force similar to a medicine soul and test the person's pill refinement mastery. With the pill refinement revolution, the pill steel would light up with a different color. 4th revolution pill refinement would light up with 4 colors. At the same time, there was a small scale between each color, which could be used to measure the pill master's specific alchemy skills. One by one, the alchemists went up the stage to test their results, while Great Elder Fu Bai reported the results of each alchemist. Second job transition upper grade, unqualified. Third job intermediate, pass. Fourth grade primary stage, pass. Those below the third transition were all eliminated. Every time a fourth revolution pill master appeared, countless cheers would be heard from the crowd. A fourth revolution pill master's name could shake a country. This time, there were at least 5,000 alchemists participating in the test. Even though there were many people, the speed of the test was quite fast. Perhaps, everyone would finish their test in less than a day. On the female cultivator's seats, Yu Lingkong's eyes were filled with anxiety. Where did Little Cucumber go? The rumor has spread like wildfire. Little Cucumber has met the Pill Sovereign and gained his recognition, becoming his half-disciple. If that's true, it's certainly a good thing. But why hasn't Little Cucumber returned yet? Is he in danger? Could it be that the Pill Sovereign has ill intentions towards Little Cucumber? Brother-in-law. Feng Shuiyan's eyes were filled with worry, but she could not make a sound. Young Master Zhou has the protection of the Rain Palace and the Zhou clan. I think he won't be in danger. Fen Qi was rational. Even though she said there was no danger, her eyes were filled with worry. Don't worry, elder sister Yu. Big brother will definitely come. Su Qiuling's eyes flickered. She knew Ning Fan very well. He had said that he would attend the pill ceremony no matter what happens. What? This is... Countless exclamations of astonishment suddenly resounded from all directions of the jade platform. Each of the cultivators stared at the center of the platform in disbelief. Chapter 460. What? This is... Everyone's gazes swept towards the jade platform. They saw that in the center of the jade platform, under the pill steel, stood a bald old monk who was as thin as a match. He stood silently in the wind and snow, but he had the bearing of a grandmaster. He let out a deep sigh, a sigh that seemed to contain the vicissitudes of life. He stroked the pill steel, and the pill steel started to glow with 4 different colors. The brilliance rose to its limit, reaching the peak stage of fourth revolution. It couldn't be increased any further. This was the limit of the pill monument's test. At this moment, the pill steel lightly trembled, and a 5-colored cloud suddenly appeared in the snowy sky. In an instant, countless cries of alarm rang out in all directions. It's a 5-colored cloud. The pill steel of the Pill Island could only test a 4th revolution pill refinement master. If a 5th revolution pill refinement master appeared, 5-colored clouds would appear and no one would be able to measure it. This man is actually a 5th revolution pill master. What? A 5th revolution pill master? In the 800 cultivation countries of the Rain World, there are only a handful of 5th revolution pill masters. Each of them is a famous figure under the heavens. Who is this person? Why does he look so unfamiliar? It's him. The former sect master of Heavenly Jade Sect, a high-grade 5th revolution pill refinement master. Yunzi. This person has disappeared for many years. I didn't expect him to participate in this pill ceremony. He's a Yunzi? But when I was a guest at the Zhou clan a few hundred years ago, I met this person at a banquet. Zhou family? Could it be that this person has already submitted to the Zhou clan? Countless cultivators were speculating. After Yunzi revealed his identity, he was immediately led to the VIP seats by the experts of the giant demon clan. Many alchemists stood up to greet him. Yunzi's gaze was as calm as an old leaf on an ancient vine. No alchemist could stir his emotions. Only when his gaze swept across the great elder of Pill Island and the Scarlet Heaven Palace's palace master did his eyes waver slightly. His eyes suddenly lit up like torches. The pill refinement mastery of Pill Island's Grand Elder, Huang Tingzi, should be on par with his. As for the Scarlet Heaven Palace's palace master, Mo Xiu, his pill refinement mastery was above Yunzi's. At the VIP seats, Scarlet Heaven Palace Lord Mo Xiu's eyes suddenly narrowed as he transmitted his voice to Yunzi. Yunzi, you were inferior to me back then. Even though you've become the Zhou clan's foreign minister, you're still inferior to me. Perhaps, even though you are stronger than this old monk, you are only slightly stronger. No one knew that Mo Xiu was demonstrating his might to Yunzi. The uproar gradually subsided, and the first round of the test proceeded in an orderly manner. One after another, the third revolution pill masters passed the first round of tests. There were also many fourth revolution pill masters who shone brilliantly in front of countless cultivators. The Scarlet Heaven Palace had sent a total of 6 pill refinement masters to participate in the pill ceremony this time. Other than the palace master, Mo Xiu, who was already a famous high-grade 5th revolution pill refinement master, the other 5 had yet to break through to the 5th revolution and needed to participate in the test. The 5 pill refinement masters of the Scarlet Heaven Palace had once been in a miserable state in Ning Fan's hands and were nearly killed by him with a single claw attack. Although his battle prowess was low, his alchemy skills were not weak. 4 of them had reached the upper grade 4th revolution, while 1 of them had reached the peak grade 4th revolution. The appearance of 5 4th revolution pill masters at the same time immediately caused countless cultivators to exclaim in surprise. These 5 people are worthy of being the Scarlet Heaven Palace's palace attendant pill masters. Each of their pill refinement techniques are enough to shock the world. A 4th revolution pill master is already powerful enough to shake a country. These 5 people's pill refinement was at least upper grade rank 4, and 1 of them was only a step away from rank 5. The Scarlet Heaven Palace is indeed one of the 9 palaces of the Rain Palace. They really have many talented people. Not only is the palace master extremely skilled in pill refinement, but even his subordinates are also extraordinary. The cheers of the crowd obviously made the 5 pill refinement masters of the Scarlet Heaven Palace very happy. Especially the old man with the highest pill refinement mastery among the 5 of them, Qi Lao. He obviously enjoyed the flattery from the crowd. The frustration he felt when he was defeated by Ning Fan that day seemed to have been swept away. He looked around and purposely asked Elder Fu Bai, who was in charge of the test. I heard that Venerated Ming is also going to participate in the pill ceremony. Why hasn't he shown up yet? Perhaps he was delayed on the way here. He will probably arrive soon. Fu Bai answered. Even though he was the great elder of the giant devil clan, he still needed to be polite to a peak grade 4th revolution pill refinement master. Does that so? This old man is really looking forward to what kind of result Venerated Ming will achieve. Based on the rumors, Venerated Ming is half a disciple of the Pill Sovereign. As a half-disciple of the Pill Sovereign, he should at least have 4th revolution pill refinement mastery, right? However, this old man thinks that Venerated Ming is a cultivator who painstakingly cultivates. His strength is extremely strong and his techniques are heaven-defying. However, his pill refinement mastery might not be that great. As everyone knows, pill refinement mastery is achieved through pill refinement, not through killing people. Qi Lao's words were transmitted into the ears of countless cultivators under the enhancement of his magic power. Each of the cultivators did not know about the grudge between Ning Fan and Qi Lao. Thus, they deeply agreed with his words. Indeed, a month ago, the Pill Sovereign had personally acknowledged Ning Fan as his half-disciple. He must at least have 4th revolution pill refinement mastery in order to not bring shame to the Pill Sovereign's reputation. However, Ning Fan was a great devil lord who went around killing people all day long. How would he have the time to study pill refinement in peace? Most of the people agreed with Qi Lao's opinion. It was impossible for Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery to be too high. Most likely, he did not have 4th revolution pill refinement mastery. Then, they thought that Ning Fan had yet to arrive. Could it be that his pill refinement mastery had not even reached the 3rd revolution and he was afraid of being disqualified and losing face? Each of the old monsters revealed a look of understanding. More and more people had the same thought. Qi Lao's eyes flashed with a hint of complacency. He could not defeat Ning Fan, but he was more than willing to defame him behind his back to disgust the Great Heaven Palace. In terms of close combat, Qi Lao and the other 4 pill refinement masters were not Ning Fan's match even if they joined forces. However, in terms of pill refinement, Qi Lao was confident that he could leave Ning Fan in the dust. Ning Fan's bone age was merely 500 years. It was already unacceptable for him to have such heaven-defying strength. If Ning Fan was also proficient in pill refinement, it would be too unreasonable. It's impossible for that Zhou Ming's pill refinement mastery to reach the fourth revolution. Perhaps he hasn't even reached the third revolution. I really don't understand why a great figure like the pill sovereign would accept a person with such low pill refinement mastery as his disciple. It really makes me jealous. Qi Lao's heart was filled with jealousy and disdain towards Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery. After he finished the test, he prepared to leave the stage with the other 4 pill refinement masters. However, he was suddenly stopped by 2 figures. One of them was the divine child of the profound heaven palace of the rain palace, Yun Niansu. The other person was the guest elder of the pill island, Yanggu. Yun Niansu was a gentle gentleman. The way he looked at Qi Lao was filled with faint disdain. He had once met Ning Fan in Gusu City. Thus, he knew that Ning Fan possessed extraordinary strength. He was a member of the profound heaven palace. He was the foster son of the 3rd prince of the rain palace, Yun Bushu. The profound heaven palace was the only palace among the 9 palaces that had a good relationship with the great heaven palace. Even though he did not know what level Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery was, he had some appreciation for him. Whether it was for the benefits between the 2 palaces or out of friendship, he was willing to put in a few good words for Ning Fan. The people of the Scarlet Heaven Palace always like to defame others behind their backs. How shameless! Since the dignified pill sovereign has taken a fancy to him, it naturally means that he has something outstanding about him. Regardless of whether revered Ming's pill refinement mastery has reached the 3rd revolution or not, he is not someone like you can defame. If Yun Niansu's tone was considered as gentle as jade and a modest gentleman, then Yang Gu's tone could be said to be furious. Then, Yang Gu's tone could be said to be extremely furious. Yang Gu was very angry. Extremely angry. But it was because Qi Lao was mocking Ning Fan. Ning Fan was the master that Yang Gu had just acknowledged. Qi Lao's words seemed to make sense to outsiders. However, to Yang Gu, it was pure bullshit. Saying that Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery might not even reach the 4th revolution and might not even be comparable to the 3rd revolution. Bullshit. Yang Gu had witnessed Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery attaining the mid-5th revolution with his own eyes. In terms of pill refinement mastery alone, he could leave a small fry like Qi Lao far behind. How dare a small fry like him mock Yang Gu's master? He's courting death. Your pill refinement mastery can't even be compared to 1/10,000th of revered Ming's. You don't even deserve to carry his shoes. Yang Gu's voice was not soft. Swish that at this moment, countless voices of discussion quietened down in unison. Qi Lao's face turned pale. He did not expect that his casual words to discuss Ning Fan would cause 2 pill refinement masters to speak up for Ning Fan. Moreover, both of them were famous pill refinement masters. Qi Lao recognized them. Yun Niansu was a famous pill refinement genius in the Rain Palace. He was also the foster son of the 3rd prince. Before coming to the Endless Sea, his pill refinement mastery was already close to breaking through to the 5th revolution, which was slightly higher than Qi Lao. If it was in the past, Qi Lao would not dare to offend Yun Niansu. As for Yang Gu, it was rumored that Yang Gu was just a step away from breaking through to the 5th revolution. If it was in the past, Qi Lao would also have to give Yang Gu some face when facing a pill refinement master of such a high level who came from the Pill Island. Now, however, Qi Lao was not prepared to give them any face. His face turned pale. Yun Niansu said that he was shameless while Yang Gu said that he was not worthy to carry Ning Fan's shoes. As a peak 4th revolution pill master, he naturally had his own pride. How could he be humiliated like this? Yun Niansu, Yang Gu, the 2 of you are just at the same level as me in terms of pill refinement mastery. Seeing that your pill refinement mastery isn't weak, I will show you some respect. However, the way you speak to me seems to be a little too rude. Same level? Yun Niansu's eyes flashed with a hint of disdain. He had long disliked the people of the Scarlet Heaven Palace. Thus, he did not mind giving Qi Lao a slap on his face. His steps were graceful like a noble young master. He walked to the bottom of the pill steel and slammed his palm on it. All of a sudden, a strong medicine soul aura force spread out from Yun Niansu's body. At this moment, the pill steel shone with 4 dazzling colors. 5 colored clouds suddenly appeared in the snowy sky. Countless people gasped. Young Master Niansu of the profound Heaven Palace was indeed a genius in pill refinement. He was already a 5th revolution pill master at such a young age. How is this possible? You are so young. How could you have broken through to the 5th revolution? Qi Lao's expression turned extremely ugly. A strong sense of defeat rose in his heart. All along, he thought that his pill refinement mastery was slightly better than Yun Niansu's. However, he did not expect that Yun Niansu had already broken through to the 5th revolution in pill refinement in a low-profile manner. While he was still in a daze, he suddenly saw Yang Gu sneering as well. Yang Gu approached the pill steel and slammed his palm on it. In an instant, 5 colored clouds appeared in the snowy sky again. Without a doubt, Yang Gu was also a 5th revolution pill master. What? Qi Lao was not the only one who did not expect this scene. Even the great elder of the Pill Island who was sitting on the host's seat was shocked. Even he did not know when Yang Gu had broken through to the 5th revolution in pill refinement. Countless old monsters around the jade platform rose to their feet and stared at Yun Niansu and Yang Gu with fiery eyes. Both of them were 5th revolution pill masters. If a 4th revolution pill master's name could shake a country, then a 5th revolution pill master's name could shake hundreds of countries. I've already said that you are not even qualified to carry revered Ming's shoes. Do you know why? Yang Gu looked at Qi Lao with a cold smile as if he wanted to clear his name. It's because revered Ming is my master. His pill refinement mastery is far beyond mine. The reason why my pill refinement mastery had broken through to the 5th revolution is all because of my master's guidance. You are just a mere 4th revolution pill master. You can't even be compared to me. How can you be mentioned in the same breath as my master? An uproar broke out in all directions of the jade platform. Countless cultivators could not believe that Yang Gu, a dignified 5th revolution pill master, would actually acknowledge Ning Fan as his master. Just as everyone was digesting Yang Gu's words, a majestic medicine soul that resembled the descent of a gigantic dragon suddenly landed on the jade platform. Countless pill refinement masters felt their bodies tremble. Even a 4th revolution pill master could not resist the power of this medicine soul at all. Of course, they knew that the medicine soul was a technique that only 5th revolution pill masters could possess. However, even an ordinary 5th revolution pill master would not be able to intimidate a 4th revolution pill master with their medicine soul. Only pill refinement grandmasters at the level of Yunzi and Mo Xiu could have such a terrifying medicine soul power. A white-robed figure suddenly landed in front of the pill steel. He casually slapped his palm on the pill steel. At the next moment, the vast sky within 100,000 li was filled with 5 colored clouds. Moreover, there was a hint of a 6th color vaguely appearing within the 5 colored clouds. What? 6 colors? A 6th revolution pill master? It's not the real 6 colors. Yunzi, Mo Xiu and Huang Tingzi rose to their feet and looked at Ning Fan's direction with bewilderment. You can't do it more than 3 times. If you dare to gossip behind my back again, you will certainly die. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with cold light. Just a look from him almost froze Qi Lao's mind. An unprecedented sense of defeat rose in Qi Lao's heart. A young man with a skeletal age of 500 years had actually far surpassed him in both cultivation base and pill refinement mastery. How is this possible? How is this possible? How can there be such a monstrous talent in this world? Qi Lao felt his face burning. The mocking gazes of countless cultivators made him feel so ashamed that he could not show his face. Previously, he was still certain that Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery was weak. Now, he felt like slapping himself in the face. Useless thing. Mo Xiu's eyes turned gloomy. This time, Qi Lao had really lost the face of his Scarlet Heaven Palace. Chapter 461. At this moment, Ning Fan had a natural aura of a grandmaster. It was like a piece of unpolished jade that had become even more perfect after 100 years of meticulous carving. his gaze lightly swept across the jade platform, and Great Elder Fu Bai immediately stepped forward to welcome him. Yang Gu respectfully bowed as a disciple, and Yun Niansu also cupped his fists in greeting. Everyone's eyes were filled with shock. Other than his disciple, Yang Gu, no one else knew that Ning Fan had a fifth revolution pill refinement technique. However, even Yang Gu did not expect that Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery had already reached the pinnacle of perfection. With just his medicine soul, he could intimidate countless fourth revolution pill masters. At this moment, all the cultivators of the cold northern country realized that Ning Fan not only possessed terrifying strength but his pill refinement mastery was also extraordinary. Qi Lao and the other 4 pill refinement masters of the Scarlet Heaven Palace hurriedly descended from the jade platform with burning faces. They did not dare to offend Ning Fan at all. Huang Tingzi could not conceal the shock in his eyes. He had long heard that Yang Gu wanted to invite Ning Fan to join Pill Island and become a foreign elder. However, he had always been reluctant to do so. In the past, Huang Tingzi did not believe Yang Gu's words. He did not believe that a devil lord like Ning Fan could cultivate his pill refinement realm to the 5th revolution. But now that things had come to this, how could Huang Tingzi not believe it? Not only did he believe that Ning Fan had a 5th revolution pill refinement realm, but he also believed that Ning Fan's pill refinement realm was slightly stronger than his. Yunzi's withered, leaf-like eyes were lit up at this moment. Ever since he had pledged allegiance to the Zhou clan, he had always been calm and collected. Even when facing alchemists of the same level as Mo Xiu, he would not lose his composure. At this moment, however, Yunzi could only feel a sense of oppression enveloping his entire body while facing Ning Fan's powerful medicine soul power. This undoubtedly meant that his medicine soul was 1 level weaker than Ning Fan's. This kid is not a 6th revolution pill master, but his medicine soul has most likely reached the peak of the 5th revolution. No wonder the elders exhorted this old monk to befriend this person. His alchemy skills are actually so formidable. The look in Mo Xiu's eyes gradually changed from shock to uncertainty. He sat coldly in his seat. Zhou Minghe. He had hidden himself quite well. His medicine soul is indeed not weak. In fact, it is slightly stronger than mine. However, alchemy doesn't just depend on a powerful medicine soul. The red cloud phenomenon gradually dissipated. Ning Fan went to the seats of the ladies. Yang Gu and Yun Niansu followed behind him. Greetings, Master. It has been a long time since we last met. Master's pill refinement mastery has improved again. This disciple really admires you. Yang Gu was extremely excited. Ning Fan nodded indifferently as a response. Mysterious Heaven Palace's Yun Niansu greets Brother Zhou. Yun Niansu cupped his fists. Mysterious Heaven Palace. Yun Niansu had once invited him to Pill Island to meet him, but he ignored him. Today, their identities had changed. Ning Fan had become a revered elder of the Great Heaven Palace, while Yun Niansu was the divine child of the Profound Heaven Palace. There was a friendly relationship between the 2 palaces. In addition to the fact that Yun Niansu had spoken up for Ning Fan had a good impression of him. Yun Niansu immediately cupped his fists and returned the greeting. Yun Niansu and Yang Gu chatted endlessly. Their topics were undoubtedly related to the Dark Heaven Palace, the Pill Ceremony, and the Pill Island's guest elder. Among them, the thing that Ning Fan was most concerned about was undoubtedly the matter of becoming a foreign elder of Pill Island. Once he became a guest elder of the Pill Island, he would be able to use the soul washing pool of the Pill Island to further improve his medicine soul, making preparations to break through to the 6th revolution pill refinement realm. When they talked about the matter of becoming a foreign elder, Yang Gu's expression turned awkward and he kept blaming himself. He had promised his master, Ning Fan, to complete this task, but he did not succeed. He really felt too ashamed to face Ning Fan. Ning Fan found out that the reason why the Pill Island refused to let him become a foreign elder was because they did not understand his pill refinement mastery. After knowing the reason, he was no longer worried about this matter. Today, he had displayed his pill refinement mastery in front of the great elder of the Pill Island. If the Pill Island still refuses to let him become a foreign elder, they would really be blind. Everyone was speechless for a moment. All of them looked at the jade platform for the test. Ever since Ning Fan and the other 5th Revolution Pill Masters appeared out of nowhere, even if a 4th Revolution Pill Master were to take the test, it would no longer cause a commotion. Ning Fan did not have much interest in these 3rd and 4th Revolution Pill Masters. He did not see the young lord of the Ghost Eye clan among the crowd. Most likely, he was frightened by the Pill Sovereign and went back to his clan. He did not even dare to participate in the pill ceremony. One day later, the test ended. The second round of the test would be held 3 days later. Ning Fan returned to the guest house with the ladies and briefly told them about his whereabouts in the past 1 month. When the ladies went to rest, Ning Fan pushed open the door and went out. He stood in the middle of the snowy night without uttering a single word, as if he had become one with the wind and snow. The Pill Sovereign's guidance, the old devil's concern and the scenes of warmth and slaughter all blended together in the night. 6th Revolution Pill Refinement Realm, Void Refinement Realm and Golden Body Refining Realm. Everything was right before his eyes. He had gained a lot, but he had also lost a lot. Concealing his identity, traveling alone, meeting each other on a narrow path, drawing his sword and fighting against each other, I am a cultivator. As soon as Ning Fan finished speaking, he left a jade slip in the room, informing the ladies of his whereabouts. With a sway of his body, he entered the Yuan Yao world and Profound Yin world. Mu Weiliang was sleeping soundly in the green coffin while Luo Yu was sleeping soundly in the thatched hut. Ning Fan felt slightly relieved. In the Profound Yin world, he condensed his medicine soul into a palm and cultivated the heavenly dipper imprint that the Pill Sovereign taught him. It was a type of battle soul technique that used one's medicine soul to fight. It was suitable for pill masters to preserve their lives when they are concocting pills. Of course, there were also ancient pill masters who directly cultivated the battle soul technique to kill. Ning Fan was not interested in cultivating too many battle soul techniques. He only needed a technique to protect himself for a lifetime, and that would be enough. The Heavenly Dipper imprint was divided into 36 imprints. The destructive power of each imprint was comparable to a peak Divine Transformation Realm attack when Ning Fan used it with his peak grade 5th Revolution Medicine Soul. 3 days of arduous cultivation in the Profound Yin world was equivalent to 300 days of cultivation in the outside world. In 3 days, Ning Fan cultivated the 2nd and 3rd imprints. In the end, he could use his medicine soul to form 3 layers of the Heavenly Dipper imprint, which was comparable to a Void Glimpse stage attack. 3 days later, Ning Fan left the Profound Yin world and arrived at the Jade platform of the capital province. The ladies were already waiting for him there. After the first round of selection, there were only 1,500 of the 5,000 pill refinement masters left. In this round of selection, countless 3rd Revolution pill masters would be eliminated. If a 3rd Revolution pill master performs well, he or she would be recruited by some forces as a guest elder. Therefore, even if they knew that they could not pass the test, many 3rd Revolution pill masters would still try their best. With so many pill refinement masters gathered here, they were led to a snow valley outside the capital province by the 8 great devil guards of the giant devil clan to participate in the second round of selection. This snow valley was filled with overwhelming spiritual chi. Besides, it was equipped with a spirit-gathering grand formation. The speed of concocting pills and melting medicines in the valley was more than a few times faster than the outside world. Within the 100,000 zhang tall snow valley, there were 1,500 small jade platforms. The participating pill refinement masters would concoct pills and melt medicines on their designated jade platforms. Ning Fan stood quietly on the jade platform. On the jade table in front of him were 2 tufts of 1,000 years old spiritual herbs, purple jade banyan. When he glanced at the snow valley, he was slightly surprised. Yi Yunzi, Huang Tingzi and Emo Xiao had all participated in the second round of selection. With their identities, they could have directly skipped this round of selection. Noticing Ning Fan's gaze, Yi Yunzi and Huang Tingzi revealed friendly smiles. Only the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace gave Ning Fan a cold smile with his eyes as sharp as a sword. Revered Ming's pill refinement mastery is extraordinary. Today, I have specially come to seek guidance from you. I see. Ning Fan nodded his head. It turned out that the reason why the three of them suddenly participated in the second round of selection was because they wanted to compete with him. As a pill refinement master, it was inevitable for them to exchange pointers with each other. If they have good intentions, Ning Fan would be more than happy to do so. However, if they have bad intentions, Ning Fan's eyes flashed with cold light. If Emo Xiao dares to pick a fight with him, Ning Fan would not mind teaching him a lesson. The surroundings of the Snow Valley were built with countless high platforms that were suspended in the air. They overlooked the progress of all the tests from above. Countless cultivators were discussing with each other. Today's hot topic was obviously related to Ning Fan. Ning Fan's medicine soul that shocked everyone present and the title of being the half-disciple of the Pill Sovereign made everyone speculate what kind of result he would achieve in the second round of selection. Great Elder Fu Bai let out a soft cough. The entire place turned silent. The second round of selection will test fellow Taoists' speed of concoction and ability to purify spiritual herbs. There are 2 tufts of 1,000-years-old purple jade banyan beside each of you. As long as you successfully refine one of them, your result will be recorded. If you fail once, you still have a chance to refine the second tuft. If you fail to refine both tufts, your result will be marked as disqualified. Other than that, there is a time limit for the concoction and number of times of purification. If you take more than 4 hours to complete the concoction or the number of times of purification is less than 10 times, you will be disqualified. The test begins now. The instant Elder Fu Bai's voice fell, countless alchemy masters took out their pill cauldrons and transformed their magic power into fire, starting to smelt the 1,000-year-old purple jade banyan. To a third revolution pill master, it was an extremely difficult task to successfully smelt the purple jade banyan and purify it 10 times within 4 hours. Even for a fourth revolution pill master, this was not an easy task. However, to a fifth revolution pill master, refining the purple jade banyan within the specified time was a piece of cake. What they needed to do was to try their best and purify it as many times as possible. Other than Ning Fan, Yunzi, and the other 2 pill refinement grandmasters, there were a total of 17 fifth revolution pill masters who summoned their massive pill cauldrons with their intent realms. Balls of dazzling flames were sent into the pill cauldrons by the alchemists. The might of the flames soared to the sky. In an instant, countless exclamations came from the jade platform floating in the air. That's a low-grade 5th revolution pill master, Taoist Wuchen. The intent realm he used to transform the cauldron is the 8th grade divine intent of wood. Tisk Fisiluk, isn't that the fire protector of Yu Shi country? He's a mid-grade 5th revolution pill master. Look at the flame he is using. It's actually the fusion of 9 types of 4th grade spiritual flames. Its destructive power is not any weaker than the earth vein demonic flame. What? That devil pill master is actually using a pill cauldron that is transformed from an 8th grade devil intent. Earth vein demonic flame. Isn't that person using the white bone flame that is ranked 11th among the earth vein demonic flames? No. He seems to be using the seed flame. However, even if it's just the seed flame, it's still extremely rare. Exclamations of surprise could be heard. Even Ning Fan raised his brows slightly. This was indeed an unprecedentedly grand pill ceremony. So many 5th revolution pill masters were gathered here. 8th grade divine intent realm cauldron transformation was considered as a common sight in this place. Even the seed flame of the earth vein demonic flame was not considered as rare. The only ones who did not have a divine intent realm cauldron transformation were Ning Fan and the other 3 grandmasters. Huang Tingzi was the first to smile. He clenched his 5 fingers and the rolling divine intent of fire turned into a giant flame cauldron. The divine intent of fire was originally an 8th grade divine intent. However, after Huang Tingzi's painstaking cultivation, it had already reached the 7th grade. As soon as the 7th grade divine intent appeared, it immediately attracted countless cultivators' exclamations. Huang Tingzi nodded with a smile after transforming his magic power into a flame. This old man has already thrown out a brick to attract jade. Fellow Taoists, if you don't summon your pill cauldron now, What are you waiting for? Hee. This old monk has shown his incompetence. Yunzi's eyes that were as still as dead leaves suddenly flashed with a ray of light. He clenched his hand and the power of intent realm of the withered branches and leaves condensed into a dark yellow giant cauldron. This giant cauldron was also condensed from a 7th grade divine intent. As soon as this cauldron appeared, countless cultivators' eyes burned with excitement. It was really exciting to see 2 7th grade divine intents within a day. Ning Fan nodded his head. Both Huang Tingzi and Yunzi's divine intents were not weak. The quality of the pill cauldrons that they condensed was incomparable to ordinary 5th revolution pill masters. Mo Xiao, on the other hand, sneered and said disdainfully, "It's just a 7th grade divine intent realm. What's there to be proud of? Cauldron, condense." Mo Xiao clenched his hand and a wave of intent realm power that was a few times stronger than Huang Tingzi and Yunzi condensed into a giant golden cauldron. As soon as this cauldron appeared, the expressions of countless cultivators changed drastically. Even Huang Tingzi and Yunzi were shocked. 6th grade divine intent. Mo Xiao, you actually made your intent realm breakthrough to the 6th grade. Not only that, even my flames are not comparable to the two of you. Fire. Mo Xiao clenched his hand and 3 streams of powerful flames shot out from the tip of his finger. They merged into a pure golden flame and shot into the cauldron. Countless cultivators fixed their eyes on Mo Xiao's pill cauldron in disbelief. If they were not mistaken, the flames that Mo Xiao used were actually 3 different types of earth vein demonic flames. When the 3 types of earth vein demonic flames fused into one, its destructive power was comparable to an ordinary 6th grade mortal void flame. Impossible! How could you possess 3 types of earth vein demonic flames? Huang Tingzi and Yunzi found it hard to believe. Yun Niansu, who was standing at a distance, shouted angrily, "Aren't these the 3 types of earth vein demonic flames that the Rain Emperor has temporarily stored in the Scarlet Heaven Palace?" The Rain Emperor had ordered that this flame would only be temporarily placed in the Scarlet Heaven Palace, and would be bestowed upon Zhou Ming in the future. Yet, you actually dared to refine this flame on your own. How dare you? Yun Niansu, watch your tone. Although you are one of the divine sons of this generation, you are still just a venerable elder. I, on the other hand, am one of the 9 temple masters. There's a difference in seniority between us. Do you think you're qualified to question this prince? Mo Xiao sneered. He was the palace lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace, and he was in charge of guarding the 3 types of earth vein demonic flames. He had received Yun Jinghong's permission to use the flames as he wished before handing them over to Ning Fan. After all, Ning Fan still had no idea how many years he would have to wait before heading to the Middle Province to complete the Rain Sovereign's mission. So what if Mo Xiao used the demonic fire first? A rank 6 concept and 3 types of earth vein demonic fires. Mo Xiao's fame instantly overshadowed all the other alchemists, firmly suppressing Huang Tingzi and Yunzi. Mo Xiao's cold eyes swept across Ning Fan. There was no emotion in his tone. The Tao of pill refinement not only requires a strong medicine soul but also a pill cauldron of extraordinary quality and an invincible flame. I heard that when revered Ming killed revered Flame, he had used a mysterious black flame. You are a venerable elder of the Great Heaven Palace and you represent the prestige of the palace. I am the palace lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace and I represent the glory of the palace. Why don't you quickly summon your pill cauldron and flames and represent the Great Heaven Palace to compete with my Scarlet Heaven Palace? Represent the Great Heaven Palace, huh? Ning Fan's eyes turned slightly cold. He knew that the reason why Mo Xiao kept opposing him was because of his identity as a venerable elder of the Great Heaven Palace. Yun Jinghong and Yun Tianjue were incompatible like fire and water. The Scarlet Heaven Palace and the Great Heaven Palace that were under each other were also enemies. The reason why Mo Xiao was so overbearing was undoubtedly because he wanted to humiliate the Great Heaven Palace by suppressing Ning Fan. The so-called righteous path was always scheming and plotting against each other. It was far less enjoyable than the cultivators of the devil path. Ning Fan's gaze swept across Mo Xiao's pill cauldron and recognized 3 types of earth vein demonic flames. The burning spirit flame that was ranked 10th had the mysterious ability to ignite flames. The 100-grass flame, ranked 6th, was one of the most suitable alchemy flames for alchemy. The second-ranked golden scale fire could be used for both offense and defense. When necessary, it could transform into a golden scale fire armor to protect the body. These 3 types of earth vein demonic flames were supposed to belong to him. Your great sky palace's people are so cowardly. Do you not dare to compete with this palace's pill cauldron and pill fire? Emo Shio said disdainfully. Ning Fan was too lazy to argue with him. He made a grabbing motion with his 5 fingers and all the white snow within 100,000 li turned into black snowflakes. The black snowflakes condensed into a huge black cauldron with 6 edges, 8 corners and 3 legs. That cauldron was not perfect, but it contained an unforgettable memory. As soon as this cauldron appeared, the pill cauldrons of all the 5th Revolution pill masters showed signs of cracking. It was especially so for Mo Shio, who was given special attention by Ning Fan. His pure gold gigantic cauldron was directly shattered into countless pieces by Ning Fan's cauldron might. Within Ning Fan's black cauldron, there was a domineering intent. My cauldron is the emperor, and all cauldrons are my subjects. What kind of realm is this? What kind of pill cauldron is this? Mo Shio gnashed his teeth in astonishment. He had never seen a pill refinement master who could shatter someone else's pill cauldron with just the cauldron might of an intent realm. Countless cultivators fell into dead silence. All of them were shocked by this shocking scene. Ning Fan no longer had the intention to conceal his intent realm and flames. With his strength and identity, he could live in the rain world with his head held high. He no longer needed to lower his head and kneel to anyone. Fire, come! With a flick of his finger, 9 black fire dragons shot out from the tip of his finger. It was the form of the black demon flame. It was an ultimate disguise. This disguise was also a secret technique that the Pill Sovereign taught Ning Fan. Even though the form of the flames was the 9 dragons' black flame, the power of the flames was comparable to the mid-7th grade immortal void flame. Impossible! The might of this flame is fake. You're just a revered elder. Even if the Rain Sovereign and the Pill Sovereign value you, it's impossible for you to have a mid-7th grade flame. This is fake. You can't deceive me. This is just a ball of black demon flame, the 7th grade black demon flame of the earth vein. Other than the black demon flame, it's nothing else. It's all fake. Watch how I devour your flames. Mo Shio's eyes flashed with golden light. He changed his hand seal and the 3 earth vein demonic flames merged into a pure golden flame from the shattered pieces of the pill cauldron. The form of the flame changed, turning into a carp with golden scales. Then, the golden scales turned into a dragon and the flame turned into a pure golden dragon. Its mouth spewed out golden flames and rushed towards Ning Fan's black flame. Countless cultivators could no longer remain calm. They did not expect that a scene of fire snatching would happen during the pill ceremony. Just when everyone thought that Mo Shio's golden flame would definitely devour Ning Fan's black flame, a shocking scene appeared. The golden fire dragon that had merged with 3 types of earth vein demonic flames suddenly trembled in fear when it got close to the 9 black dragons. The 9 black dragons let out a roar that sounded like a devil's roar. One of the black dragons casually tore the body of the golden dragon into pieces with its dragon claws. Devour! Ning Fan seized the opportunity. The 9 black dragons suddenly gave off a purplish golden mist and wiped out the marks within the golden flames. Then, they opened their mouths and devoured the golden flames. In just a moment, the golden dragon was completely devoured by the black dragons. Ning Fan then opened his mouth and swallowed the black dragon back into his stomach. His eyes revealed a hint of satisfaction. Very good. I have obtained the 3 types of earth vein demonic flames that should have belonged to me. Mo Shio spurted out blood and retreated hastily. He found it hard to believe that Ning Fan had actually wiped out the marks of his 3 types of earth vein demonic flames and forcefully seized them during the battle. Ning Fan's black dragon flames, in particular, gave Mo Shio a sense of shock. He could not understand what level of black flames had reached. How could they be so terrifying? If Ning Fan had the strength of a peak void refinement realm expert, he would probably be able to put up a fight against a first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm old monster. How dare you seize my flames? Emo Shio roared furiously. If it wasn't because of Ning Fan's special identity, he would certainly attack him. I'll give you a taste of your own medicine. Since you dared to devour my flames, why can't I seize yours? Moreover, these 3 types of earth flames are what the Rain Sovereign promised me. You're just keeping them for me. Why can't I take them back? Even so, the power of your black flames is comparable to a mid-7th grade immortal void flame. You don't deserve to own a flame of this level. You should just offer it to the Rain Sovereign and let him use it as he pleases. Emo Shio said in a gloomy tone. These are the black flames that my master gave me. The Rain Sovereign will not seize my flames. Ning Fan made the final decision, dispelling the thoughts of countless cultivators who coveted the black flames. The master, he mentioned, was the old devil. However, everyone thought that he was referring to the Pill Sovereign. Whoever dares to seize the flames that the Pill Sovereign gave to his disciple would be the Pill Sovereign's enemy. In the Rain world, no one was willing to provoke the Pill Sovereign for a trace of flames. Emo Shio, I've tolerated you because I respect you as the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace. If you continue to provoke me, don't blame me for being merciless. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with a hint of killing intent. Currently, Emo Shio's flames were seized and the backlash he suffered was not light. If Ning Fan uses his demonized form to kill him, he would have at least a 40% chance of killing him. Now that he was of great value to the Rain Palace, no one would hold him accountable even if he really kills Emo Shio. At most, they would punish him and take revenge after they are done using him. Emo Shio's eyes flashed with surprise. He clutched his chest and took a few steps back. He actually sensed a trace of killing intent from Ning Fan's eyes. Emo Shio knew that Ning Fan had the Yellow Dragon 7 tokens. The destructive power of the 7 tokens was comparable to a Void Pierce stage attack. If Emo Shio was at his peak, he would not be afraid of Ning Fan. However, now that he had just suffered a backlash, his blood and chi were not flowing smoothly. If he is attacked by Ning Fan, the possibility of him being severely injured was very high. What should I do? Should I give up on this test and leave first to avoid this young man's attack? This young man has a powerful treasure. If he fights me with his life, I will certainly suffer a loss. While Emo Shio was hesitating, countless faint purple orchids suddenly fell from the sky. Amidst the rain of orchids, an evil-looking young king suddenly appeared. He stood in midair with a cinnabar dot on his glabella. His eyes were filled with coldness and arrogance. Emo Shio, don't panic. You can continue to participate in the second round of the test. I will be here to protect you. As soon as the owner of the voice fell, he looked down at Ning Fan with a hint of warning in his eyes. I have some friendship with Yun Jinghong. With me around, you won't be able to touch his people. Prince Lan Ling. Ning Fan's eyes turned cold as he looked at the arrogant young man who was standing in midair. With this person around, he did not have the confidence to kill Emo Shio. As for Emo Shio, he also took advantage of the time when Prince Lan Ling showed up and immediately consumed a pill to suppress the injuries in his body. His internal chi quickly returned to normal. Ning Fan had lost a great opportunity to kill Emo Shio. What a pity! Ning Fan casually grabbed the purple jade banyan and tossed it into the pill cauldron. It was a pity that he did not manage to kill Emo Shio in one go this time. However, Ning Fan had a premonition that Emo Shio would come looking for trouble again. This man was not someone who would submit to humiliation. To Emo Shio, having the earth vein demonic flame taken away in public was definitely a great humiliation. Besides, Ning Fan could also sense that the 8 traces of spirit sense that were hidden in the dark became a little nervous the moment Prince Lan Ling appeared. Are they going to fight each other again? Ning Fan had a premonition that there would probably be a good show later. In the giant devil-broken world, the 8 ancestors who had been paying attention to the pill ceremony all the while wore solemn expressions when they saw Prince Lan Ling's arrival. Prince Lan Ling, this person has probably come to our giant devil clan for the devil statue slate. the slate of the six-winged clan has fallen into his hands. Instead of snatching the slate of the Mist-Horn clan and the Ghost Eye clan, he came to our Giant Devil clan. Obviously, he is up to no good. If he comes here with his true body, I will certainly be afraid of him. However, he is only here with his second primordial spirit. If he dares to sneak into the Giant Devil Broken World and plot against us, I will certainly make sure that he won't be able to return alive. Chapter 462. With the arrival of the king of Lanling, Emo Shio had a chance to catch his breath and escape the calamity. However, Emo Shio's results in the second round weren't ideal. Out of the 1,500 alchemists, only 180 of them could finish smelting and purifying a 1,000-year-old spirit herb 10 times in 4 hours. Among the 180 participants, most of them were 4th Revolution Pill Masters. There were also a few peak 3rd Revolution Pill Masters who had passed the test and were recruited by many forces. Those who could purify a 1,000-years-old purple jade banyan 50 times were all 5th Revolution Pill Masters. Huang Tingzi purified the 1,000-year purple jade banyan 74 times while Yi Yunzi purified it 77 times. Emo Shio suffered a backlash and lost his flame. He was only able to purify 72 times before losing to Huang and Yi. What was even more unacceptable to Emo Shio was that Ning Fan had actually purified the purple jade banyan 99 times. One should know that even a true 6th Revolution Pill Master could only purify a 1,000-years-old spiritual herb 100 times. Ning Fan's result was undoubtedly telling the world that his pill refinement mastery was already close to the 6th Revolution. Ning Fan actually won the first place in the second round of the competition despite the presence of Huang, Yi, and the other Grandmasters. Of course, this result was only a test of the refinement and purification of spirit herbs. Perhaps Ning Fan's refinement and purification skills were better than the others, but his pill refinement mastery was still inferior to Emo Shio and the others. Many old monsters were looking forward to the third round of competition. In the third round, all the alchemists would concoct pills for real, and they would be able to truly determine who was better. They really wanted to know if Ning Fan could still obtain the first rank under such circumstances. The second round came to an end, and there were 10 days left until the third round. Within 10 days, Ning Fan had been standing outside the West Tower in the snow and wind. His mind was replaying the techniques of the 1,500 pill refinement masters in the second round. On the 7th day, news spread that Emo Shio had fully recovered. Emo Shio claimed that he wanted to have a fair and square battle with Ning Fan in the last round. Ning Fan sneered disdainfully at this kind of rumor. He had never thought that Emo Shio was a real person. On the 8th day, in the dead of the night, a vast ripple of battle suddenly came from the direction of Ju Mo's broken world. Some cultivators saw that one of the parties was King Lan Ling while the other party was 7 to 8 Void Refinement Realm old monsters with vast chi. In the end, King Lan Ling was outnumbered and left angrily. As for the 7 to 8 mysterious Void Refinement Realm experts, they were also extremely fearful of King Lan Ling and did not chase after him. Countless cultivators tried to guess the identities of these 7 to 8 mysterious Void Refinement Realm cultivators, but none of them could get the answer. Ning Fan was the only one who knew that King Lan Ling must be extremely conceited. He snuck into Ju Mo's broken world alone and was forcefully repelled by the 8 ancestors. This matter had deepened Ning Fan's fear of the 8 ancestors. Even though King Lan Ling only came with his second primordial spirit, his second primordial spirit alone was already much stronger than many Void Pierce stage old monsters. Even King Lan Ling could not forcefully barge into the broken world of the Ju Mo clan and take away the Devil Statue Slate. It was even more impossible for Ning Fan to do so. However, this King of Lan Ling is really not weak. His second primordial spirit was besieged by 2 Void Pierce stage experts and 6 Void Inquiry stage experts, but he still managed to stay alive. As expected of an expert of the same generation as Yun Tinjua, that person's true body has yet to break through to the Void Fragmentation realm. However, it is very likely that there are very few who can match him below the Void Fragmentation realm. After failing to snatch the stone slab, King Lanling was heavily injured and left. That person was very strong. Yun Tianjue was the only person who had lost to someone at the same level as him. King Lanling was someone who had once fought against Yun Tianjue. He was invincible among those below the void fragmentation realm. Rumor has it that even a first heavenly layer void fragmentation realm expert had suffered a loss in his hands. Currently, Ning Fan was far from being a match for King Lanling. Thus, he did not have the intention to compete with him. Mo Xiu had recovered to his peak state. He no longer needed King Lanling's protection. He began to actively prepare for the third round of the competition, intending to slap Ning Fan's face in the third round. On the 9th day, Huang Tingzi and Yi Yunzi came to visit Ning Fan one after another. The three of them discussed something. Before Huang Tingzi left, he announced to everyone that Ning Fan had officially become the guest elder of Pill Island. As for Yi Yunzi, he announced to everyone that the Zhou clan would always be Ning Fan's backing. Outsiders might not know about Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery, but the two of them could tell that Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery had at least reached the peak grade 5th revolution. Moreover, there were few who could match him among those at the peak grade 5th revolution. This made the two of them feel defeated, but at the same time, they were also impressed by Ning Fan's profound pill refinement mastery. On the 10th day, Yun Niansu came to tell Ning Fan some information. He found out that Mo Xiu was a narrow-minded person. He was preparing to cause some trouble in the third round of the pill ceremony, which might be disadvantageous to Ning Fan. Yun Niansu represented the mysterious Heaven Palace. The reason he expressed his goodwill to Ning Fan was to strengthen the relationship between the two palaces. After hearing that Yun Niansu was the foster son of the third prince of the Rain Palace, Yun Bushu, Ning Fan became even more polite to him. He had already met Yun Bushu twice. The first time was during the great calamity of the 7 Apricot City, and the second time was during the gamble of the sinister Sparrow sect. Rumor has it that among the princes of the Rain Palace, Yun Bushu was the only one who had a close relationship with Yun Tianjue. Now that Yun Niansu had shown kindness to Ning Fan several times, Ning Fan was also willing to befriend him. With Yun Niansu's reminder, Ning Fan became even more vigilant towards the third round of the grand competition. Now that King Lanling was not here, if Mo Xiu really dares to cause trouble in the grand competition, Ning Fan would not mind taking the opportunity to kill him. With the protection of the Rain Sovereign, the Pill Sovereign and the Zhou clan, no one in the Rain world would dare to hurt Ning Fan before he falls out with the Rain Sovereign. He did not need to worry too much. Even the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace might not necessarily be unkillable. 10 days passed and the third round of the grand competition began. This time, the grand competition was held on an icy plain. The spiritual chi of heaven and earth on this icy plain was much denser than that of the Snow Valley. If one concocts pills here, the speed of concocting pills would be at least 6 to 7 times faster than the outside world. There were a total of 180 people participating in the competition. However, those with discerning eyes knew that the top 3 would most likely be Ning Fan, Yi Yunzi, Huang Tingzi, and Mo Xiu. Ning Fan appeared on the icy plain very early in the morning. He stood on the jade platform that belonged to him for a long time like a statue, unmoved by anything. The outside world was filled with wind and snow, but his heart was as tranquil as a piece of paper. He repeatedly studied his pill refinement techniques and recalled the scenes of him concocting pills in the past. Under the guidance of the Alchemy Sovereign, his body gradually formed a unique aura. That bearing belonged to Ning Fan's own Tao of Pill. Even though it was still far from being formed, it would eventually be carried forward and flourished one day. Thick ink-like medicinal qi spread out to several zhang. At this moment, Ning Fan no longer looked like a revered devil lord. Instead, he had completely turned into a pill refinement grandmaster who wholeheartedly focused on the Tao of Pill. Su Qiuling stared at Ning Fan from afar. Her beautiful eyes were filled with infatuation. Yu Lingkong looked at Ning Fan. She actually felt a little unaccustomed to Ning Fan's bearing of a grandmaster. In her heart, Ning Fan should always be shrouded in dense devil qi. Fan Qi was deeply attracted to Ning Fan at this moment. Just like her, Countless beautiful female cultivators in the audience were also attracted to him. Feng Shuiyan was not around. After Prince Lan Ling attacked the giant devil-broken world, she was carefully protected by the 8 ancestors. They were afraid that she would make any mistakes. Before they made use of her, the 8 ancestors really treated her extremely well. However, when Ning Fan thought that all of their good deeds were just a disguise to kill her 10 years later, he suddenly felt that the 8 ancestors of the giant devil clan were very disgusting. Venerated Ming really came early. Huang Tingzi and Yunzi exchanged some pleasantries with Ning Fan and went to their respective jade platforms. Both of them seemed to be well prepared. More and more pill refinement masters entered the icy plain. Among them was Emo Xiu. Today, Emo Xiu had regained his usual calmness. From the beginning to the end, his eyes that were looking at Ning Fan did not have a trace of hostility. It was as if he had forgotten about the grudge that happened 10 days ago. This greatly disappointed many people who were waiting to see Ning Fan and Emo Xiu fight each other. Gradually, all 180 participating pill refinement masters had arrived. Great Elder Fu Bai, however, was not in a hurry to announce the start of the grand competition. Instead, he was waiting for something quietly. All the pill refinement masters were waiting patiently. 2 hours later, the strange phenomenon of a sun rising from the ocean suddenly appeared in the distance. That sun was green in color. It was already daytime at this moment. A red sun had already appeared in the sky. The appearance of the second green sun was extremely strange. It seemed to be able to move, and it was flying towards the cold northern country at a rapid speed. The rays of the sun were so bright that countless cultivators could not open their eyes. All of them wore expressions of shock as they could not see what was coming towards them. When they took a closer look, they could clearly see that it was 16 giants in black armor. Each of them was carrying a pure golden wine goblet that was the size of a small hill. At this moment, Great Elder Fu Bai smiled faintly and explained, "Fellow Taoists, there's no need to panic. This item is a treasure of the Pill Island. It's called the Flame Light Goblet. It's a supreme treasure that can appraise pills. For this grand competition, we, the 16 experts of the Giant Devil Clan, have specially borrowed this item from the Pill Island." Up to this point, Fu Bai did not explain much. However, his words immediately caused countless cultivators to discuss spiritedly. "What? This is the #1 treasure of the Pill Island, the Flame Light Goblet? Rumor has it that this treasure is specially made to appraise the grade of pills. When a pill is placed inside the wine goblet, it will reflect the sun's shadow of different colors and sizes according to the grade of the pill. 5th revolution green, 6th revolution profound, 7th revolution purple. Just now, a virtual shadow of a green sun appeared. Could it be that someone placed a 5th revolution pill inside the flame light goblet? A low-grade pill will have a sun shadow of 10,000 zhang. A middle-grade pill will have a sun shadow of 20,000 zhang. A high-grade pill will have a sun shadow of 40,000 zhang. A peak-grade pill will have a sun shadow of 80,000 zhang. That green sun earlier is at least 30,000 zhang in size. The pill that was placed inside the flame light goblet is most likely a middle-grade 5th revolution pill. Moreover, it's not an ordinary pill among the middle-grade 5th revolution pills. Voices of discussion spread. The 16 black-armored giants placed the huge flame light goblet in front of the host's seat and carefully guarded it. Ning Fan's eyes scanned across the flame light goblet. He had heard about this item from the pill sovereign in the dream realm of 100 years. When the flame light goblet was placed into the pill, it would reflect the shadows of the sun of different grades. The 4 heavens and 9 realms all had suns. Suns could be seen, but these suns were all flowers in the mirror and the moon reflected in the water. No one could touch them. The sun that cultivators saw did not actually exist, it was only an illusion. Legend has it that in the primordial era, the immortal emperor created reincarnation and refined the yin and yang pills. The yin pill was the moon, and the yang pill was the sun. He also used a great spell to disperse the shadows of the sun and moon, so that everyone in the 4 heavens and 9 worlds could see the sun and moon change. The so-called sun was a non-existent pill refined by the celestial sovereign. Its grade was immeasurable. This flame light goblet used the shadow of the sun to distinguish the grade of a pill, so it could be considered as borrowing from this legend. The flame light goblet has been brought here. Fellow Taoists, you can start the cauldron to concoct the pills. Third and fourth revolution pills will be appraised by the appraisers. The flame light goblet would appraise the pills above the fifth revolution. The time limit for concocting pills must not exceed 1 month. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. The grand competition begins now. Each of the pill refinement masters had a serious look on their faces. They summoned their pill cauldrons and started to concoct pills. Ning Fan glanced at Mo Xiu from the corner of his eyes. Coincidentally, Mo Xiu was also looking at him. Mo Xiu's eyes were filled with an inexplicable coldness that was hidden very deeply. Suddenly, he opened his mouth and said, "Revered Ming, do you dare to make a bet with me?" "What bet?" Ning Fan's eyes were calm as if he already knew what Mo Xiu was going to say. "Let's bet on whose pill refinement mastery is better in the third round of the grand competition, me or you." "What's the bet?" "If I lose, I'll allow you to take away any treasure you want from me. If you lose, your black flames will belong to me." Mo Xiu was rather tactful. With the Rain Sovereign's order, he did not dare to kill Ning Fan, but he still wanted to snatch Ning Fan's flames. Ning Fan's eyes flashed with a cold light. If Mo Xiu really wanted to make a bet with him in a fair and square manner, he would also be willing to do so in a fair and square manner. However, Yun Niansu had already found out about Mo Xiu's scheme. This time, Mo Xiu would not compete in a fair and square manner. "If you lose, can I even take away your life?" Ning Fan's expression was expressionless. However, what he said made Mo Xiu's heart tremble. The chill only lasted for a moment before it faded away. Mo Xiu smiled disdainfully. His pill refinement mastery might not be as good as Ning Fan's, but his strength was far superior to his. Now that he was in his peak state, he did not think that Ning Fan could take away his life. "If you have the ability to take it away, you can try," Mo Xiu replied in an imposing manner. Countless cultivators who were spectating the grand competition were in an uproar. At the beginning of the grand competition, Missouri Xiu actually made a bet with Ning Fan. Even though Ning Fan's medicine soul was very strong and he was also the first in the second round, most people did not know what level his pill refinement mastery had reached. Mo Xiu, on the other hand, was a senior pill refinement master whose name shook the 100 countries. He had an extremely high prestige. Moreover, he was the palace lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace and the trusted aide of the 7th Prince of the Rain Palace. For a moment, not everyone thought that Ning Fan would win. Many people were even more confident in Mo Xiu's victory after seeing his confident smile. If it wasn't for the fact that Mo Xiu was injured during the second round of the competition, he might not be weaker than Ning Fan. Why did Little Cucumber make a bet with that old thing? If he loses, wouldn't he have to give the black fire to someone else? Yu Lingkong said worriedly. "Does sister you not believe in Big Brother? When has Big Brother ever done something that he's not confident in?" Su Qiuling, on the other hand, was full of confidence. In Zhu Mo's broken world, the 8 ancestors were recuperating from their injuries. The king of Lanling barged into the realm forcefully, and although he was defeated, it was a huge blow to the 8 ancestors. The 8 forefathers were neither dead nor alive, and their bodies were in danger of dissipating at any time. After King Lanling did that, the bodies of the 8 of them became even more illusionary. Damn it. If I get the chance, I'll definitely tear the Prince of Lanling to pieces and exterminate his entire clan. A sinister female voice rang out. Let's put the matter of the Prince of Lanling aside. He's heavily injured and won't dare to cause trouble. The 8 of us, on the other hand, have reached the point where our bodies are about to dissipate. Originally, we could have dragged on for another 10 years, but that brat, Lanling, brought this calamity forward. The sinful sea pill that was passed down in our clan has already been consumed. We need to seek help from another pill master to concoct this pill, an old man said in a hoarse voice. Seek help from who? Although the sinful sea pill is only a peak 5th revolution pill, ordinary sixth revolution pill masters might not be able to successfully concoct it. There are only 7 sixth revolution pill masters in the Rain world, and none of them are on good terms with us, the Ju Mo clan. Why should they concoct the pill for us? How can we expose our identities to outsiders? The harsh female voice refuted. There might be a peak 5th revolution pill master in this pill ceremony who has the ability to concoct the sinful sea pill. The hoarse old man sneered. The pill masters that Ju Qing invited for his daughter are not weak, but none of them is a peak 5th revolution pill master. Zhou Ming. Impossible. This kid is not even 500 years old. It's already heaven-defying for his pill refinement mastery to reach the 5th revolution. How is it possible for him to have a peak 5th revolution pill refinement mastery? The reason why he obtained first place in the second round was mostly because of his powerful pill cauldron and pill fire. The harsh female voice refuted. Just wait and see. This old man has eaten quite a number of pill masters' medicine souls in my life. His medicine soul is especially delicious. I won't be wrong about it. It's a pity that we still need this kid to concoct the sinful sea pill before we complete our mission. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind having a taste of his medicine soul. The hoarse old man sneered with an evil charm. The moment he sneered, the primordial spirits of the other 7 ancestors, including Ju Yen, shuddered instinctively. The 7 ancestors were all experts of the giant devil clan and devil cultivators. However, the hoarse old man was the only one who was a devil lord that could strike fear in people's hearts. Feng Xuan, who was sleeping soundly on the ice-cold bed, suddenly clenched her fist. She had actually woken up. However, when she unintentionally heard the conversation of the 8 ancestors, her heart was in turmoil and her beautiful face turned pale. Are they trying to eat brother-in-law? I must tell brother-in-law about this. Grandpa is a bad guy. Where is this place? Chapter 463. Ning Fan no longer paid attention to Mo Xiu and began to concoct pills. His heart was as calm as still water. 90% of his attention was focused on the pill cauldron, and the other half was focused on Mo Xiu's movements. Ning Fan took out tufts of 10,000 years old spiritual herbs with strong devil power and threw them into the pill cauldron one after another. His movements were as smooth as floating clouds and flowing water. A few breaths later, there were dozens of spirit herbs being calcined in the cauldron. Different spirit herbs required different temperatures to be smelted. It was already difficult for ordinary 5th revolution pill masters to refine a tuft of 10,000 years old spiritual herbs at once. However, Ning Fan was actually refining tens of them at the same time. The alchemy technique was like a celestial maiden scattering flowers. In the eyes of the surrounding cultivators, it immediately turned into a stunning sight. If it was before, there were still a few people who doubted Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery. Now, however, no one dared to underestimate him anymore. Many 3rd and 4th revolution pill masters looked at him with respect and admiration in their eyes, as if they were looking at a famous senior. All the 5th revolution pill masters, including Huang and Yi, also looked at Ning Fan with admiration. This kid's technique is extraordinary, and it makes me feel ashamed. The younger generation will surpass us in time, as expected of the alchemy emperor's half-disciple. Huang Tingzi smiled bitterly. He already knew that his pill refinement mastery was far inferior to Ning Fan's. Thus, he did not have the intention to compete with Ning Fan today. All he wanted to do was not to lose to Yunzi and Mo Xiu. What he was concocting was a type of high-grade 5th revolution pill called the Barbarian Soul Pill. The effect of the pill was to increase the physical strength of a Jade Life body refiner by 30% in a short period of time. After the effect of the pill ended, the side effects of the pill would be extremely great. At the very least, it would cause the body of the person who consumed the pill to be paralyzed for tens of years, unable to move. Although the side effects were great, if this pill was used in a battle to the death, it would often have the miraculous effect of turning the tide of the battle. It was a rare life-saving pill. Many body cultivator old eccentrics saw Huang Tingzi refining the ferocious soul pill, and their eyes burned with desire. They were all prepared to buy the pill from Huang Tingzi at a high price after the pill was refined. The pill Yunzi concocted was an upper-grade 5th Revolution Purple Heaven pill. One Purple Heaven pill could increase a mid-stage soul formation cultivator's magic power by 200 units. It was slightly more difficult to concoct than the ferocious soul pill. If Yunzi performed normally and refined the ferocious soul pill flawlessly, his result would naturally be slightly higher than Huang Tingzi's. Huang Tingzi smiled bitterly as he shook his head. He knew that Yunzi's alchemy skills were slightly better than his, but he didn't mind it. He would wait until the pills were completed before deciding the outcome. Mo Xiao, on the other hand, was unusually quiet. No one knew what he was plotting. Tufts of 10,000-years-old spiritual herbs were thrown into the pill cauldron at the same time. Even though it was not as many as Ning Fan, it was still quite eye-catching. When those with sharp eyes saw the medicinal ingredients that Mo Xiao was using, their eyes were filled with astonishment. If they were not mistaken, the pill Mo Xiao was concocting was actually a high-grade 5th Revolution pill, Lianqing pill. This was an extremely precious pill. The reason why it was so precious was because it could greatly enhance the quality of a 5th Revolution pill master's medicine soul. However, the medicinal ingredients for this pill had always been scarce, and the difficulty of concocting it was almost infinitely close to that of a peak 5th Revolution pill. Everyone was naturally extremely surprised when they saw Mo Xiao had actually chosen to refine the Lianqing pill. Once Mo Xiao refined the Lianqing pill, then even if it was only of ordinary quality, it would be sufficient to defeat Huang Xiaolong and Yi Qing. Looking at Mo Xiao's confident expression, it was obvious that he was quite confident in concocting this pill. Everyone's eyes shifted to Ning Fan. All of them knew that he was the only one who could compete with Mo Xiao now. However, when some devil cultivators recognized the pill that Ning Fan was concocting, all of them revealed disappointed looks. What Ning Fan was concocting was not a peak 5th Revolution pill but a high-grade 5th Revolution Devil Revered pill. The Revered Devil Revered pill was a good item to improve one's golden body refinement realm. However, in terms of grade, it was still slightly inferior to the Lianqing pill. After all, it was a devil pill. Its medicinal effect was strong, but its side effects were also great. Unless the Revered Devil pill that Ning Fan concocted was flawless, it would probably be quite difficult for him to defeat Mo Xiao in this competition. The sounds of discussions gradually spread. It seems like the person who has the highest chance of winning today is Palace Master Mo Xiao. Revered Ming's pill refinement mastery isn't weak. However, his actual cultivation base should still be slightly inferior to Mo Xiao. After all, Mo Xiao is an old monster who had been famous for many years. Mo Xiao let out a cold snort when he heard the support of the public. He seemed to be indifferent, but his eyes were filled with a hint of pride. He never thought that he would lose to Ning Fan in pill refinement. Even though Ning Fan's pill cauldron and pill fire were far superior to his, he did not think that he would lose. It seems like I can still win even if I don't use my tricks. However, if I don't use some tricks, how can I take revenge for seizing my flame that day? Little Zhou Ming, just you wait. When you, Huang, and Yi complete the pill, I will give you a surprise. All of Mo Xiao's expressions were seen through by Ning Fan. Ning Fan did not expose him. He had already guessed some of Mo Xiao's plan from some of his pill refinement techniques. Coincidentally, Ning Fan also had a plan. The Lianqing pill that Mo Xiao concocted was not as simple as he imagined it to be. As for the Revered Devil pill that Ning Fan concocted, it was also not as ordinary as it looked on the surface. Half a month passed. For the first time, a strange phenomenon of heaven and earth appeared in the sky above the vast icy plain. It was the phenomenon of a 4th Revolution pill being completed. A white-haired 4th Revolution pill master was holding a scorching hot low-grade 4th Revolution pill in his hands. The pill is done. My pill is done. If it was in an ordinary cultivation country, a 4th Revolution pill master concocting a 4th Revolution pill would certainly be a major event that would shake the entire country. However, in this pill ceremony where pill refiners were as numerous as ants, the old man's 4th Revolution pill could not attract too many people. In the end, his pill was handed over to the appraiser to be appraised. Of course, after the appraisal, the pill would still belong to the old man. After the old man, there were people who successfully concocted fourth revolution pills one after another. Strange phenomena of heaven and earth appeared one after another. There were also many pill refiners whose cauldrons exploded and their pills were destroyed. Disheartened, they withdrew from the competition. 20 days passed. Almost all the fourth revolution pill masters had completed their pill refinement. On the icy plain, there were only 21 fifth revolution pill masters, including Ning Fan, who were still carefully concocting pills. Ning Fan carefully controlled his black flame. After obtaining the 3 types of earth vein demonic flames, the grade of his black flame improved again. Even though it had yet to reach the level of a high-grade 7th revolution spiritual flame, it was already invincible among mid-grade 7th revolution spiritual flames of the same level. With Ning Fan's pill refinement speed, it was several times faster than Mo Xiao and the others. On this icy plane where his pill refinement speed was increased by 6 to 7 times, if he concocts the revered devil pill normally, he would only need 10 days to complete the pill. The reason why he had yet to complete the pill after 20 days was actually because he had other plans. Rumble. Suddenly, rays of silver light began to gather in the clear sky. It was as if a fifth revolution pill master had successfully concocted a pill and triggered the lightning tribulation. At this moment, the pill cauldron of that pill master seemed to have formed a gigantic vortex of magic power. It absorbed the spiritual chi of heaven and earth into the pill cauldron and used it to condense the pill. At this moment, the eyes of the cultivators outside the arena lit up with excitement. Each of the fifth revolution pills was an extremely valuable item. The lightning tribulation of every fifth revolution pill that was successfully concocted was not to be underestimated. Even divine transformation realm cultivators would not be able to withstand it. Many cultivators began to think about how they could purchase this fifth revolution pill from that pill master after the pill ceremony. As for that fifth revolution pill master, he asked for help from the host, implying that he could not withstand the lightning tribulation by himself. On the host's seat, Zhu Qing and Dong Su exchanged glances with each other. All of a sudden, they soared into the sky and clawed at the sky at the same time. The tribulation clouds that filled the sky were forcefully crushed by the two of them. Heaven and earth trembled. So this is the strength of the 7 venerated beings of the internal sea? Countless cultivators were astonished. Such a terrifying lightning tribulation was actually crushed by the two of them. The strength of their claw was enough to easily kill any divine transformation realm cultivator. When the fifth revolution pill master tested the grade of his pill in the flame light goblet, the shadow of a 10,000 zhang large green sun appeared in the sky. That was his result. In the next few days, more fifth revolution pills were successfully concocted. Each time, it was Zhu Qing and Dong Su who worked together to overcome the lightning tribulation. On the 24th day, Yang Gu and Yun Niansu successfully concocted their pills one after another. The pills they concocted were both low-grade fifth revolution pills. Looking at Ning Fan, who was still calmly concocting pills, Yang Gu's expression became even more respectful. Sure enough, he did not choose the wrong master. Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery was too broad and profound. Yun Niansu touched the pill that was still warm and let out a deep sigh. After all, he was just a low-grade fifth revolution pill master. He was not as good as Ning Fan. The two of them went to the flame light goblet to test the grade of their pills. Both of them had the shadow of a 10,000 zhang large green sun. This result was enough for them to enter the top 20 of this pill ceremony. The two mid-grade fifth revolution pill masters concocted mid-grade fifth revolution pills, and the shadow of a 20,000 zhang large green sun appeared. In the end, only Ning Fan, Huang Tingzi, Yunzi, and Mo Xiao were left on the icy plain. On the 27th day, Huang Tingzi's pill cauldron was the first to emit a whiff of pill fragrance that could move one's heart. Then, it triggered countless silver lightning bolts in the vast sky. It was a sign that the pill was about to be completed. 1 hour later, Yunzi's pill cauldron also emitted a whiff of pill fragrance. The lightning bolts in the vast sky indicated that the pill was about to be completed. All of a sudden, Emoshio's eyes lit up. He secretly glanced at Huang Tingzi and Yunzi from the corner of his eyes. Eventually, he looked in Ning Fan's direction. He was waiting for the moment when Ning Fan's pill was about to be completed. That would be the moment when he would use his trump card. Noticing Emoshio's spying, the corner of Ning Fan's mouth curled into a cold smile. You want to plot against me? Then I'll show you a flaw. Condense. He clenched his 5 fingers and the medicinal power in the cauldron immediately condensed into a pill. The vast sky was filled with dense silver lightning bolts. A vast amount of heaven and earth spiritual chi was absorbed into the pill cauldron, continuously increasing the aura force of the pill. When the aura force reaches its peak, the heavenly tribulation would descend and the pill would be formed. Countless cultivators felt their hearts in their throats. They were about to witness the completion of 3 high-grade 5th revolution pills. How could they not be excited? Even Zhu Qing and Dong Su's eyes were solemn. Facing the lightning tribulations triggered by 3 great pill masters at the same time, even the 2 of them would not be able to withstand it. Everyone's gaze was fixed on the 3 lightning tribulations that were about to descend from the sky. No one noticed that at this moment, the corner of Emoshio's mouth curved into a hideous smile. Pill, condense. He suddenly patted the body of the pill cauldron. A massive magic power whirlpool appeared in the pill cauldron, devouring the heaven and earth spiritual chi from all directions. The sudden appearance of the 4th lightning tribulation in the vast sky shocked countless people. None of them expected that Emoshio would also rush to complete the pill at this moment. Zhu Qing and Dong Su's expressions became even more solemn. It was very difficult to withstand 4 lightning tribulations at the same time. Huang Tingzi and Yunzi shifted their gazes towards Emoshio. They felt that the technique that Emoshio used to condense the pill was a little strange. They saw Emoshio placing one of his hands on the pill cauldron while forming a hand seal with the other. His hand seals were extremely obscure and profound. As for the magic power whirlpool in his pill cauldron, the suction force was becoming stronger and stronger. It was so strong that it was a little abnormal. It was as if it was going to devour all the heaven and earth spiritual chi on the icy plain. The spiritual chi in the surroundings decreased rapidly and all of them gathered around Emoshio. After losing a large amount of heaven and earth spiritual chi, the quality of the pills inside the pill cauldrons of Ning Fan, Huang Tingzi and Yunzi were declining rapidly. Not only that, the medicinal power inside the pills was being absorbed and devoured by Emoshio's pills bit by bit. All of a sudden, Huang Tingzi and Yunzi's expressions changed greatly. This is the secret technique of the ancient pill masters, the pill advancement. This is the grade seizing technique. There were pill masters in the ancient times who would order others to concoct pills during pill concoction. When the pills are completed, they would devour the pill power of others and assimilate it into their own pills to improve the grade of the pills. This kind of secret technique has been lost for a long time. You actually know how to use it. You're right. What I'm using is one of the pill advancement technique, grade seizing technique. Since the pills of the 3 of you have been seized by me, the grade of your pills will naturally decline. As for my pills, I can absorb the medicinal power of your pills to improve their grade. The Lianqing pill that I concocted is already a high-grade 5th revolution pill. If I can improve its grade, I can concoct a peak-grade 5th revolution pill in one go. I'm the winner of this round. A satisfied smile appeared on Emoshio's face. Today, he was going to step on the pills of the 3 of them and concoct his own peak-grade 5th revolution pill. The grade seizing technique was a secret technique of ancient pill cultivators. Unless it was a pill cultivator who was also proficient in the grade seizing technique, no one could stop Emoshio from seizing the medicinal power of others' pills. It was also by chance that he obtained this technique. Moreover, it was just an incomplete technique. He did not think that the others could learn this technique. Huang Tingzi and Yunzi's faces were filled with anger. If the grade seizing technique is used in a private occasion, it would be fine if other pill masters willingly allow you to seize the medicinal power of their pills. However, when it was used in a grand competition, seizing the medicinal power of others' pills to upgrade one's own pills was already unfair. The dignified Scarlet Heaven Palace Lord is actually so despicable. Both of them shouted angrily. In this world, the strong survive and the weak die. It's not despicable or not. If the two of you also know the grade seizing technique, the medicinal power of your pills naturally wouldn't be seized by me. The reason why you lost is because you are weak. Emo Shio, on the other hand, spoke eloquently. He increased his magic power and an even greater suction force came from the pill cauldron, violently absorbing the medicinal power of Huang Tingzi and Yi Yunzi's pills. As their pills continued to lose their medicinal power, their pills could no longer form into pills at all. Moreover, their pills began to show signs of cracking. Their eyes were filled with anger, but they were powerless to stop Emo Shio from seizing their pills. The cultivators outside the arena fell into silence. Even though the grade seizing technique was a little despicable, Emo Shio's statement of, "the strong survive and the weak die," was not wrong either. For a moment, they did not know whether they should cheer for Emo Shio's grade seizing technique or despise him. At this moment, some cultivators gradually realized that Ning Fan was not angry at Emo Shio. Ning Fan still looked calm and composed. He had already seen through Emo Shio's grade seizing technique. Emo Shio glanced at Ning Fan with a cold smile that was filled with hostility. "Revered Ming, it seems like you're going to lose today's grand competition. Since you're willing to bet, you must be willing to accept your loss. After the grand competition, I will take away your black flames. Even if you complain to the Rain Sovereign and the Pill Sovereign now, you won't be able to get your black flames back." "Complain? Why would I complain?" The corner of Ning Fan's mouth curved into a mocking smile. His hand seals suddenly changed and he chanted the same incantation. Grade seizing technique. Inside Ning Fan's pill cauldron, a vortex of magic power that was even stronger than Emo Shio's suddenly rose. A massive suction force violently absorbed the medicinal power of Emo Shio's pills. That suction force was more than a few times stronger than Emo Shio's grade seizing technique. Emo Shio's expression changed and he shouted angrily. "Impossible! How can you also know the grade seizing technique? This is absolutely impossible." Chapter 464. A strong sense of unwillingness rose in Emo Shio's heart. The grade seizing technique was his trump card. He could not believe that Ning Fan could do it as well. What he could not believe was that Ning Fan's grade seizing technique was not only complete but also had a higher level of mastery than him. Facing Ning Fan's grade seizing technique, Emo Shio could not resist at all. All he could do was let the medicinal power of the pill drain. The Lianqing pill that he had spent so much effort to concoct began to drop in grade. Huang Rong and Yiyun were surprised to find out that Ning Fan did not seize the medicinal power of their pills after using the grade seizing technique. Instead, he only seized the medicinal power of Emo Shio's pills. With Ning Fan restraining Emo Shio, the medicinal power of their pills no longer drained. Thus, they could form the pills again and complete the last step of the concoction. Of course, Ning Fan was helping the two of them by doing them a small favor. Their pills were almost destroyed because of Emo Shio. Now that they received Ning Fan's help, they naturally felt grateful towards him. Countless cultivators outside the arena were stunned. They did not expect the situation to be reversed like this. Emo Shio, who used the grade seizing technique, was seized by Ning Fan instead. To Emo Shio, this scene was really ironic. Compared to Emo Shio's despicable behavior, Ning Fan, who gained the upper hand after striking, seemed to be more upright and righteous even though he also used the grade seizing technique. "You've lost." Ning Fan's indifferent voice contained 70% indifference and 30% disdain. When Emo Shio heard it, it was like a bolt from the blue. "I've lost? I actually lost to Ning Fan in terms of pill refinement? This is impossible." However, he had to admit that if he continues to let Ning Fan seize the medicinal power of his Lianqing pill, its medicinal power would eventually be drained and it would become a useless pill. Emo Shio's eyes flashed with ferocity. He had never felt so unwilling before. This kind of unwillingness turned into a sharp thorn that pierced his heart. He could not tolerate it. His eyes that looked at Ning Fan revealed killing intent for the first time. You can't defeat me. During the second round, you seized my spirit fire and caused me to suffer a backlash. Today, I will take revenge for that and teach you a lesson. Soul Palm Imprint. Emo Xiao and Ning Fan were at the critical moment of concocting their pills. Both their magic power and spirit sense were tied to the pills. However, Emo Xiao's technique was extraordinary. His dark green medicine soul suddenly turned into a gigantic palm imprint and slammed down on Ning Fan's head. It was actually a medicine soul palm imprint with the power of the first level. Emo Xiao had secretly learned this technique from the alchemy sovereign. Although he had only learned one layer of the palm imprint, its power was still extraordinary. When Ning Fan was at a crucial point in his pill concoction, he suddenly launched a sneak attack with his battle soul technique. It was enough to cause Ning Fan's cauldron to explode and his pills to be destroyed. He would then suffer the backlash of failing to concoct the pill and be severely injured by the palm imprint. Emo Xiao did not dare to kill Ning Fan. However, if he doesn't let Ning Fan have a taste of severe injuries, how could he quell the anger in his heart? A palm imprint that you secretly learned? It's only... Ning Fan's eyes flickered with a cold light. He had long been prepared for Emo Xiao's sneak attack. When countless cultivators saw Emo Xiao fly into a rage out of humiliation and actually launched a sneak attack on Ning Fan who was in the midst of concocting pills, they began to despise his character. There were also many alchemists who saw Emo Xiao use the battle soul technique that only ancient cultivators knew, and their eyes burned with passion. When Yu Lingkong, Su Qiuling and Fen Qi saw Ning Fan being ambushed, all of them rose to their feet in a panic. They wanted to rush over to help Ning Fan block the palm imprint, but it was already too late. Seeing that Ning Fan was about to be hit by Emo Xiao's palm imprint and suffer a backlash, Su Qiuling's gentle eyes revealed killing intent for the first time. She wore a black dress which made her look like a black orchid. However, this orchid would also get angry. As for Yu Lingkong, she was about to go berserk. If Little Cucumber gets hurt, she would definitely fight Emo Xiao to the death. Even if she could not defeat him, she would still fight with her life on the line. Fen Qi's enchanting eyes were burning with anger. Ning Fan had treated her well. She was not an ungrateful person. Boom! Just as the ladies were feeling anxious, a thunderous collision suddenly resounded. Ning Fan's body also emitted a vast dark green medicine soul which turned into 3 layers of palm imprints and collided with Emo Xiao's palm imprint. Ning Fan's Heavenly Dipper imprint was personally taught to him by the alchemy sovereign. In terms of the completeness of his magic technique, the grade of his medicine soul and the cultivation of his palm imprint, Ning Fan was far superior to Emo Xiao. Without any suspense, Emo Xiao's palm imprint was crushed by Ning Fan's palm imprint. Layers of ripples spread out. Emo Xiao's eyes were filled with astonishment while Ning Fan was still as calm as before. The remaining palm force hit Emo Xiao's body mercilessly as if he was hit by 1,000 mountains. In just an instant, Emo Xiao had suffered quite a serious injury. Emo Xiao felt a sharp pain in his medicine soul. All of his magic power became sluggish, making him unable to continue concocting pills. Emo Xiao spurted out a mouthful of blood and pushed his hand away from the pill cauldron. The flames in the cauldron went out of control and immediately, a burnt smell spread out. The pill lightning that was brewing in the sky dissipated on its own. Emo Xiao's cauldron did not explode and his pill was destroyed. However, the Lianqing pill that he concocted failed at the last step due to Ning Fan's interference and turned into a burnt, useless pill. As for Emo Xiao, he had focused all of his attention and magic power on the pill. Now that the pill was destroyed by an external force, the backlash he suffered was certainly not light. His cultivation base was at the void inquiry stage. After being injured by the palm imprint and suffering from the pain of the backlash, his cultivation base was actually unstable. He could not keep up with his magic power and fell to the void glimpse stage. The backlash of pill concoction was similar to qi deviation during cultivation. The consequences were not trivial. That was the reason why the Pill Sovereign put on Ning Fan's Heavenly Dipper imprint to protect his life. Unless Mo Xiu goes into seclusion for tens of years to improve his cultivation base, he would never be able to regain his Void Inquiry stage cultivation base. This was the price he had to pay for the backlash. He was enraged. He had gone mad. He had lost his rationality. The dignified palace lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace had actually lost his cultivation base because of Ning Fan. All of his worries had been thrown to the back of his mind. He did not care what kind of background or protection Ning Fan had. Today, he was going to make Ning Fan pay the price. Zhou Ming, you're courting death. He soared into the sky and prepared a magic technique. He wanted to injure Ning Fan, who was in the state of pill concoction, and make him suffer the backlash as well. The one who is courting death is you. Ning Fan suddenly patted the lid of the cauldron. A ray of silver lightning struck down and the revered devil pill was directly completed. To be more precise, Ning Fan had already completed the pill 10 days ago. He was just waiting for this moment, which was why he pretended that he had not completed the pill. He had already predicted that Mo Xiu would lose his mind after his grade seizing technique was broken. This step was still within his calculations. Swallow. Facing the pill lightning of a high-grade 5th revolution pill, Ning Fan opened his mouth and directly swallowed all of the silver lightning. He had cultivated the complete Tai Su lightning star. As such, a mere thunder was nothing to him. Facing Mo Xiu, who was closing in on him, Ning Fan took a step into the sky and threw a punch at him. The force of the punch was mixed with the whistling of mountains and rivers. It was beyond Mo Xiu's expectation. He could not figure out how Ning Fan could suddenly form his core and regain his ability to move. After hastily receiving Ning Fan's punch, Mo Xiu's eyes were filled with shock. The bones of his fist that collided with Ning Fan's punch were directly shattered. It could not withstand the immense physical strength of Ning Fan's body at all. Boom! A loud explosion resounded. Mo Xiu's fists were stained with blood as he was sent flying away by Ning Fan's punch. Currently, his injuries were extremely severe. His cultivation base had fallen and his physical body was far weaker than Ning Fan's. How could he possibly be a match for Ning Fan? His heart was filled with regret. If he had known that Ning Fan had the grade seizing technique, he would never have displayed his slight skill in front of an expert. If he had known that Ning Fan had the Heavenly Dipper imprint, he would never have launched a sneak attack on him. If he had known that Ning Fan had already completed his core, he would not have recklessly risked his life to fight him. He was the one who attacked Ning Fan first. Even if Ning Fan kills him today, Ning Fan would probably be the one in the right. No one in the Rain Palace could stand up for him. His death would be in vain. Today, without the protection of King Lon Ling, his injuries were even worse than during the second round. How could he be Ning Fan's match today? Unwilling, he was unwilling. However, his mind gradually calmed down. The current situation was disadvantageous to him, and he did not want to continue fighting. He just wanted to hide for the time being and seek revenge in the future. Stop right now. I will definitely compensate revered Ming for today's offense. Both of us are from the Rain Palace. How can we kill each other? Do you still remember the bet you made with me? Ning Fan's reminder evoked Mo Xiu's memories. That's right. He had made a bet with Ning Fan before. Today, he failed to concoct a pill while Ning Fan succeeded. Thus, he naturally lost to Ning Fan. According to the bet, Ning Fan could casually take away anything from him. What do you want? This prince will give it all to you. Mo Xiu said in a panic. I want your life. Boom, boom. Ning Fan swung both of his fists. His black hair danced wildly in the wind, making him look as dignified as a heavenly deity. The entire snowy sky was filled with the shadows of black dragons. He punched out with both fists, directly shattering Mo Xiu's arms, not giving him any chance to form any hand seals. He kicked Mo Xiu's dantian, and it shook Missouri Xiu's primordial spirit to the point it almost collapsed. With a point of his finger, the third strike of the heaven-collapsing sword finger turned into countless sword lights that slashed Mo Xiu's body into pieces. Everyone was shocked by this overwhelming battle situation. A phoenix in dire straits was no better than a chicken. Emo Xiao, whose cultivation level had dropped, was heavily injured, and his strength was far from the Shirlu country king's. No matter what, the country lord of Shirlu country was an unrivaled void glimpse stage expert. Even so, he was still trampled on by Ning Fan. Ning Fan did not put a mere heavily injured Emo Xiao in his eyes at all. Even if Emo Xiao was at his peak, he was just at King Ying Long's strength. As for Ning Fan, he could even kill King Ying Long. As for Emo Xiao, his temperament was far inferior to King Ying Long and Shirkuan. The reason why Emo Xiao was so powerful was because he came from the Rain Palace that Emo Xiao's magic power was unable to keep up with Ning Fan's attacks. His strength was scattered and he did not have the strength to fight back at all. He was grabbed by Ning Fan like a sandbag and smashed into the icy plain. Ning Fan was like dragging a dead dog to the icy plain in the distance. Every single punch he threw caused the snowy mountains to collapse. Emo Xiao's eyes were filled with hatred and fear. Ning Fan's physical body was just too strong. It was so strong that it made him tremble in fear and made him beg for mercy. He felt that if Ning Fan continues to beat him, he would really die. "You can't kill me. I am the 7th sovereign, the 7th prince's trusted aide, so what if I kill you? I'm not afraid to tell you that I will use your primordial spirit and use the blood revolution technique to upgrade my revered devil pill." What? Emo Xiao's eyes were filled with fear. The blood revolution technique was similar to the grade seizing technique. Both of them were secret techniques that could upgrade the grade of pills. The difference between them was that the grade seizing technique was used to seize the medicinal power of other pills to upgrade the grade of pills. The blood revolution technique, on the other hand, was used to refine a cultivator's nascent soul and primordial spirit into a pill. It was a cruel pill upgrade technique. He could not imagine that Ning Fan was going to use his primordial spirit to refine a pill. This is just too terrifying. Of course, it was impossible for him to know that the reason why Ning Fan chose to concoct the revered devil pill today was because he had already planned to kill Emo Xiao and use his primordial spirit to refine the pill. Ning Fan was never a person who would suffer losses. If someone dares to provoke him, he would just kill them. Bang! Ning Fan stomped on Emo Xiao's body, turning it into a pile of blood and flesh. With a point of his finger, he fixed Emo Xiao's primordial spirit in place and captured it. Then, he took a step forward and returned to the jade platform of the pill cauldron. His baleful chi dyed the snow and wind red. In the blink of an eye, he killed Emo Xiao. Such a powerful technique made countless cultivators shiver in fear. How long had it been? Ning Fan had actually killed 2 Void Refinement Realm old monsters in the cold northern country. Shocking. This is just too shocking. Emo Xiao, in particular, had a higher cultivation base than the country lord of Shirlu country. His status was also higher than the country lord's. However, Ning Fan still killed him without hesitation. How audacious of him! Everyone looked at the primordial spirit in Ning Fan's palm, guessing how Ning Fan would deal with Emo Xiao. Then, Ning Fan did something that made countless cultivators' eyes pop out. He placed the warm revered devil pill into the pill cauldron. After that, he sealed Emo Xiao's half-dead primordial spirit and threw it into the pill cauldron. After that, he ignored Emo Xiao's miserable cries and directly activated his black flames to burn it. He was actually going to use Emo Xiao's primordial spirit to concoct a pill. What? There's actually someone in this world who uses a void inquiry stage expert's primordial spirit to concoct a pill? A devil. This is the behavior of a devil. Shut up. Do you want to die? If you scold Venerated Ming, be careful or Venerated Ming might use your nascent soul to concoct a pill. All of a sudden, the outside fell into a strange dead silence. The atmosphere was filled with a terrifying atmosphere. Countless cultivators looked at Ning Fan with bone-chilling fear in their eyes. Inside Ning Fan's pill cauldron, blood-red light shone and its baleful chi was terrifying. After letting out a miserable shriek, Emo Xiao's primordial spirit completely fused into the revered devil pill. At this moment, the high-grade 5th Revolution revered Devil Pill showed signs of breaking through to the peak-grade 5th Revolution. Especially after the revered Devil Pill broke through to the peak-grade 5th Revolution, Ning Fan was still able to concoct the pill with ease. Anyone with discerning eyes could see that Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery had definitely reached the peak-grade 5th Revolution. As he continued to concoct the pill, a few more days passed. Kill someone and take their life, concoct a pill with their primordial spirit. It's actually the lost blood revolution technique from ancient times. An old monster exclaimed. Peak-grade 5th Revolution. Venerated Ming is actually a peak-grade 5th Revolution pill refinement master. Another old monster exclaimed in shock. At the same time, the atmosphere of an impending storm enveloped the Rain Palace of the Middle State. The shocking news made the people of the Rain Palace feel uneasy. How could this be? How could this be? Why would the life plate of the dignified Scarlet Heaven Palace Lord shatter? One of the revered elders of the Rain Palace said in shock and anger. Investigate. Quickly investigate. We, the people of the Scarlet Heaven Palace, cannot let our palace lord die in vain. Another revered elder voiced his support. The Rain Sovereign's eyes turned gloomy. He did not say anything. Just from his expression, one could tell that he must be extremely angry at this moment. Because someone dared to kill the 9 palace lords of the Rain Palace. This was no different from slapping his face. In the main hall, revered Ming, who had lost his heavenly eye, was trying his best to perform divination. However, he could not find out the heavenly secret of the murderer. In the end, the spy of the Rain Palace that was buried in the endless sea paid a huge price to send the information to the Rain Palace. Only then did everyone know the reason of Mo Xiu's death. The murderer was Ning Fan. As for the reason why he killed Mo Xiu, it turned out that Mo Xiu had repeatedly provoked Ning Fan and even tried to take his life. Mo Xiu! How dare he disobey my orders? He deserves to die. The Rain Sovereign's anger seemed to have shifted to Mo Xiu. If it was someone else who killed Mo Xiu, the Rain Sovereign would certainly hold them accountable. However, Ning Fan was still of great use to him. Thus, he would not allow anyone to touch Ning Fan. Even if he wants to touch Ning Fan, he should only do so after he has made use of him. Father, Mo Xiu is my subordinate. Don't tell me he died in vain. Yun Jinghong's eyes were filled with killing intent. He wished he could tear Ning Fan apart. That's right. He died in vain just like that. His death can be used as a lesson to the other palace lords. This is the consequence of disobeying my orders and touching Zhou Ming. Besides, do you really dare to kill him? Now, he is half a disciple of Li Tsongtian. The Rain Sovereign was displeased. Yun Jinghong was his son. He should know what was important and what was not. However, he actually got angry because of a subordinate and wanted to kill a very useful chess piece. His temperament was really worrying. Li Tsongtian. At the mention of the Pill Sovereign's name, no matter how arrogant and wild Yun Jinghong was, he had no choice but to restrain himself. With the Rain Sovereign and the Pill Sovereign's protection, no one would dare to touch the current Ning Fan. However, we can't let this Zhou Ming do as he pleases. He is not even 500 years old, but he could already kill Shi Kun and Mo Xiu. My son, are you very close to Prince Lan Ling? The Rain Sovereign asked. Yes. Prince Lan Ling's true body is currently in seclusion. His second primordial spirit is in the endless sea, collecting the devil's statue slates of the 4 clans of the hidden ocean. Yun Jinghong did not dare to hide anything from him. Is that so? If there's a chance, I'll let him teach Zhou Ming a lesson. There's no need to take his life. This young man is already so ferocious before attaining the Void Refinement Realm. If he breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm or Void Fragmentation Realm, this young man must not be allowed to become the next Yun Tianjue. Ning Fan's achievements in killing Shi Kun and Mo Xiu made the dignified Rain Sovereign pay attention to a junior for the first time. Somehow, the Rain Sovereign always felt that this junior Ning Fan gave him an extremely uneasy feeling. If a genius like Ning Fan was born in other worlds, the Divine Sovereigns would probably fight to recruit him. Unfortunately, there was only one Divine Sovereign in the Rain world. The result of a dictatorship was to suppress the geniuses and prevent the imperial authority from being replaced. Zhou Ming, the Rain Sovereign, remained silent. His brows were tightly knitted together. No one knew what he was thinking. Even the Rain Sovereign himself did not understand why he would be afraid of an ant who had yet to attain the Void Refinement Realm. Those below the Void Fragmentation Realm were all ants. As for those below the Void Refinement Realm, they were even worse than ants. Chapter 465. Some of the old monsters who came to participate in the pill ceremony were from the profound sects, righteous Tao and devil sects. Many of them had also used other people's nascent souls to concoct pills. However, had anyone ever used the primordial spirit of a void inquiry stage old monster to concoct pills? In the Rain world, the number of void refinement realm experts could be counted with one's fingers. There were only slightly more than 100 of them. Among them, the Palace Lord of the Scarlet Heaven Palace, Missouri Xiu, was one of the top 50 experts. Such an expert was actually killed by Ning Fan and used his primordial spirit to concoct pills. It was truly a terrifying scene. So Void Refinement Realm old monsters can also die. So there are still devils in this world who dare to use the primordial spirit of a Void Refinement Realm old monster to concoct pills. Each of the old monsters looked at Ning Fan with fear that came from the bottom of their hearts. Under everyone's fearful gaze, the revered devil pill that Ning Fan concocted was finally completed. Ning Fan performed the grade seizing technique and the blood revolution technique one after another, successfully raising the grade of the revered devil pill to the peak of the 5th revolution. At this moment, the medicinal power of the pill was much stronger. It could be used as an aid to break through to the golden body refining realm. The silver lightning tribulations struck down from the sky. Ning Fan's glabella flashed with starlight. With a cold look in his eyes, he said indifferently, "Get lost." The silver lightning bolts in the sky seemed to be afraid of him. They flew back to the sky and could not be struck down. This scene shocked countless cultivators once again. If Ning Fan was strong enough to resist the lightning tribulation head-on, it would still be understandable. However, Ning Fan merely glanced at the lightning tribulation and the lightning tribulation actually became afraid. It was just too unbelievable. Huang Tingzi and Yunzi's pills were completed one after another. Thanks to Ning Fan, their lightning tribulations were directly scared away by Ning Fan's gaze. The two of them tested the grade of their pills. Huang Tingzi's fierce soul pill was thrown into the flame light goblet. The shadow of a 500 zhang large green sun appeared. Yunzi's purple heaven pill had a 550,000 zhang large green sun. Now, its quality was slightly higher than Huang Tingzi's pill. Ning Fan did not immediately test the grade of the revered devil pill. Instead, his eyes scanned through the fragments of the pill cauldron that Emo Xiu left behind. The Lianqing pill could greatly increase the grade of one's medicine soul, but the main ingredient was extremely rare and hard to find. Emo Xiu being able to gather all the ingredients for the Lianqing pill was truly a great fortune. Unfortunately, he ran into Ning Fan and ruined the Lianqing pill. Otherwise, if Ning Fan consumes this Lianqing pill, it would certainly greatly improve the grade of his medicine soul. No one knew what he was thinking, but Ning Fan flicked his sleeves and kept the Lianqing pill. Then, with a leap, he walked to the front of the flame light goblet. As soon as the 16 giants of the giant devil clan who were guarding the flame light goblet saw Ning Fan, each of them shuddered in fear. "Revered Ming, please test the grade of the pills." Their voices were trembling, as if they were afraid that any slight disrespect would displease Ning Fan. Ning Fan was already used to their fear and turned a blind eye to it. He had killed Shikuan and Emo Xiu consecutively. His demonic might could no longer be suppressed. There would definitely be countless experts paying attention to him. He had to improve his strength as soon as possible, break through the golden body realm as soon as possible, and obtain a cultivation commensurate with his reputation. With a flick of his finger, the dark golden sovereign demon pill was flicked into the flame light goblet. In an instant, a 99,000 feet dark green sun appeared in the sky. An 80,000 zhang tall green sun shadow was a peak 5th revolution pill. Not only did the sun shadow exceed 80,000 zhang tall, but it also had the black color that only 6th revolution pills had. Without a doubt, the grade of the sovereign demon pill was already infinitely close to the 6th revolution. A pill that's infinitely close to the 6th revolution. Each of the old monsters exclaimed in surprise. Among them, an aged pill refinement master mustered his courage and stepped out of the crowd. He cupped his fists at Ning Fan and asked, "May I ask, revered Ming, what level has your pill refinement mastery reached?" This old man and countless fellow Taoists would like to know. Peak 5th revolution, close to the 6th revolution. Ning Fan's tone was flat. He did not have any intention to hide it. However, these calm words immediately set off waves of shock. There were only 7 6th revolution pill masters in the Rain world. Ning Fan's pill refinement mastery was close to the 6th revolution. Breaking through to the 6th revolution was just around the corner. Once his pill refinement mastery attains the 6th revolution, he would become the 8th 6th revolution pill master in the Rain world. This identity was too honorable. The result of the competition in the pill ceremony was without any suspense. Ning Fan was first, Yunzi was second, and Huang Tingzi was third. Originally, if Mo Xiu did not die and continued to concoct pills peacefully, he could have gotten the second place. Unfortunately, he offended Ning Fan, and that was why he died. Ning Fan killing the palace master of the Scarlet Heaven Palace was no trivial matter. Many people were guessing how the Rain Palace would deal with Ning Fan. Some of them guessed that the Rain Palace would punish Ning Fan according to the laws of the world. Some of them also guessed that the Rain Palace would send someone to summon Ning Fan to the Middle State to interrogate him. 10 days had passed since the pill ceremony ended. The area outside Ning Fan's residence was deserted. Not many old monsters dared to approach him. These old monsters could not figure out how the Rain Palace would deal with Ning Fan. Thus, they did not dare to get involved with him. However, something happened that made their jaws drop. 10 days later, a piece of news that shocked the entire Rain world spread. All the members of Mo Xiu's clan in the Middle State were severely punished by the Rain Sovereign. The Rain Sovereign claimed that Mo Xiu was the one who attacked Ning Fan first. He deserved to die. The Rain Sovereign even declared that if Ning Fan breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm one day, he would be conferred the title of Marquis and the position of the Palace Master of the Scarlet Heaven Palace. No one expected that Ning Fan would actually be so highly regarded by the Rain Sovereign. He actually did not want to take responsibility for killing a Palace Master. No one expected that Ning Fan would kill Mo Xiu and even take over his position. As long as Ning Fan breaks through to the Void Refinement Realm, he would be the Palace Master of the Scarlet Heaven Palace in the future. This was basically saying that Ning Fan was not guilty of killing Mo Xiu. How heaven-defying. What a monster. There are actually rewards for breaking the law by killing someone. All of a sudden, countless old monsters figured out how much Ning Fan was favored by the Rain Palace and began to flatter him. Ning Fan, of course, was too lazy to meet these despicable people who fawned on the rich and powerful. With his strength, there was no need for him to show them any respect. For 10 whole days he stayed in his residence and recalled the pill concoction process of the pill ceremony. He had learned a lot from it. Zhu Qing told Ning Fan that he would officially concoct pills for Feng Shuiyan half a month later. Before that, Zhu Qing would arrange for Ning Fan to meet a few old ancestors of the giant devil clan. The reason for the meeting was that the few old ancestors had heard about Ning Fan's unparalleled pill refinement mastery and they wanted to request him to concoct some pills for them. The few old ancestors said that if Ning Fan agreed to help them concoct pills, they could discuss any request he has. Any request. Ning Fan naturally knew that the few old ancestors that Zhu Qing mentioned were referring to the 8 ancestors. Since the 8 ancestors would ask him for pills, they would naturally treat him with respect. However, Ning Fan did not have a good impression of them at all. He was on the same side as Feng Shuiyan. Both of them were destined to be enemies with the 8 ancestors. However, it was not impossible for him to concoct pills for the 8 ancestors. He could make any request he wanted. He wondered if he could directly take a look at the devil statue slate to extract the devil chi from it. As for the pills he concocts for them, if he tampered with the pills, he wondered if he could directly poison the 8 ancestors to death. Ning Fan was rather worried when he did not see Feng Shuiyan for the past few days. Without Feng Shuiyan's disturbance, he spent a few nights with Yu Lingkong and Su Qiuling respectively. Ning Fan still did not touch Fen Qi's body. He would not force her. What he did not know was that Fen Qi was unwilling to do so. She was just reluctant to sleep with him when she saw how much Ning Fan doted on Yu Lingkong and Su Qiuling. Everything seemed calm and tranquil, but Ning Fan did not feel relaxed at all. It was because Zhu Qing would bring him to meet the 8 ancestors today. The place where they would meet was naturally the small kiliacosm where the 8 ancestors resided. Ning Fan was not worried about his safety when he entered the enemy's territory rashly with 8 experts watching him. He had the steel of sun and moon which could instantly kill a void-pierced stage-old ancestor if he was forced into a corner. Even though he could not find the entrance to the Ju-Mo broken world, it would be very easy for him to escape once he enters the broken world. He could just use the wind mist technique to create an exit. With the wind mist technique and the heaven-deceiving cloak, Ning Fan could go anywhere he wanted in this vast world. No one below the void fragmentation realm could hurt him. Even if Prince Lan Ling's true body comes, Ning Fan would not be afraid. Yun Niansu gave Ning Fan a letter saying that the Rain Sovereign had sent Prince Lan Ling's second primordial spirit to teach him a lesson. Ning Fan did not care about it at all. Prince Lan Ling's second primordial spirit was nothing to him. Previously, he only wanted to participate in the pill ceremony and did not want to have anything to do with this person. If this person is stubborn and dares to teach him a lesson, he would not mind instantly killing Prince Lan Ling's second primordial spirit with the steel of sun and moon. Moreover, Ning Fan did not think that Prince Lan Ling would come to teach him a lesson. Prince Lan Ling was severely injured by the 8 ancestors. Who knew where he would be recuperating? Prince Lan Ling was determined to seize the slate. Since he could not get the slate of the giant devil clan, he would certainly try to seize the slate of the other 2 clans. Prince Lan Ling only wanted to seize the slate. How would he have the mood to deal with Ning Fan? He was not worried that Prince Lan Ling would come to visit him at all. Instead, he was more worried about Feng Shuiyan. Dong dong dong. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Ning Fan flicked his sleeves and opened the door. A white-haired young lady with a worried and haggard expression was standing outside the door. It was Feng Shuiyan, whom he had not seen for a long time. "Brother-in-law, you must not go to see Grandpa. They wanted to eat you." Feng Shuiyan mouthed, but she could not make any sound. She was too worried that she even forgot her manners and begged Ning Fan like a child. "Brother-in-law, don't go. They are bad people, silly girl." Ning Fan looked at Feng Shuiyan, who was like his younger sister, and felt sorry for her. He patted her white hair to comfort her. His heart turned cold and his killing intent towards the 8 ancestors was triggered. The 8 ancestors actually wanted to eat him. These 8 ancestors are really tired of living. It seems like if I don't scare these 8 ancestors a little, they won't behave themselves. On an uninhabited island in the eternal endless sea. Inside a hidden cave dwelling, Prince Lan Ling's second primordial spirit was in seclusion to recuperate. Beside him was a jade slip. It contained Yun Jinghong's request. He asked Prince Lan Ling to teach Ning Fan a lesson. Prince Lan Ling glanced at the jade slip and let out a cold snort. "Pumph. Yun Jinghong actually dares to order me around. Does he think that I'm his subordinate? Teach Zhou Ming a lesson? Why should I listen to the Rain Palace and teach Zhou Ming a lesson? Besides, a mere Zhou Ming is really worthy for me to deal with him personally." When he thought of this, Prince Lan Ling suddenly fell into silence. He had met Ning Fan twice and both of them were extremely arrogant. However, Ning Fan was like a pool of calm water from beginning to end. He never got angry and acted like a weakling. He also once thought that Ning Fan was a weakling. However, Ning Fan could kill Shikuan and Mo Xiao in a row. Was he really a weakling? Prince Lan Ling faintly felt that he had underestimated Ning Fan from the beginning. However, the pride in his heart did not allow him to admit Ning Fan's strength. Scenes of memories flashed in front of his eyes. When Prince Lan Ling was young, he had provoked Yun Tianjue twice. However, Yun Tianjue remained unmoved like a rock. It made Prince Lan Ling feel that Yun Tianjue was weak and could be bullied easily. However, when Prince Lan Ling provoked Yun Tianjue for the third time, Yun Tianjue drew his sword in anger and defeated him with just a single move. That was the humiliation of his life. Only then did Prince Lan Ling realize that the reason why he felt disdain towards Ningfan was not because Ningfan was too weak. It was because Ningfan was too similar to Yun Tianjue. They were so similar that it made him feel disgusted. If I provoke him for the third time, will he draw his sword at me in anger? Humph! Forget it. If I gather all the devil slates and decipher the secret of the devil slates, I might be able to meet this person for a while. Now, I don't have the time to deal with him. If I don't get the devil slates as soon as possible, it will be difficult for me to heal my physical body after I absorb the devil chi from the severe injuries caused by my failure in the void fragmentation realm. If I am in my peak condition, I will come to the internal endless sea with my true body and sweep across the entire world. How happy would that be? How would I be injured by the 8 undead monsters of the giant devil clan? Prince Lan Ling's eyes became even colder. He wanted to speed up his pace in obtaining the devil slates. Compared to the devil statue slate, all the other items could be ignored for the time being, including Ningfan, that you're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.